We're live.
Oh, actually live this time, because I know that last time, Tommy, you said we were live. I did a whole spiel, and then we weren't live. Are we actually live? 100%.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to day 2 pre-season F1 testing. And the voice is still intact, which you'll be pleased, or maybe not pleased to know. Who knows? But good morning, everybody. Good morning to Tommy, the WTF1 founder. And
we're live.
We are actually live this time. Oh God! Now I'm playing myself again. Hold on. Oh God! I did a whole spiel. I just heard
That's
myself.
A traditional intro.
Yeah, I heard myself twice. That was scary. That was late. Sorry, Marcus. I'm sorry we're late, but it's not like we missed anything. So don't worry. It's not like the start of the race. Yes. So welcome along to day 2. First and foremost, I feel like I need to say that my thoughts and prayers are with Ukraine, with what's gone on with the news this morning. It's sickening to read it all. So, you know, I'm a bit baffled and a bit brain scrambled by it. But yeah, my thoughts go out to anyone that's in Ukraine. Yeah, it's horrible, horrible news.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not the nicest news to wake up to put it mildly. But yeah, hopefully we can do our best to offer a bit of escapism for some people.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we won't be, reflecting on it too much because, yeah, it is. We are about Formula One, but I just wanted to, send out my respects and my condolences to anyone that's out there. So, there we go. Right, so let's talk some F1, shall we?
Yeah,
we're not going to have live updates, so the live timing in that black box will come up once we actually get some times on the board.
No one's out at the moment.
No one's out. Actually, that's not true.
Ricardo,
Sainz and Gasly.
No one's done a time. I should have added.
Sorry. Yeah, no one's out in terms of times at the moment. But of course we have Ricardo, Sainz, and Gasly out. Ricardo and Gasly, of course, haven't actually done any running until today in terms of the new 2022 car. So, how I suppose if you are new to this watch along, it's not watch along really, is it? It's a live update stream. We've got our sister company, The Race, out there in Barcelona, where we'll be asking them questions, poking them, telling us to answer anything that you guys want to know, as well as keeping you up to date on the live text updates, which they have on their website as well. There'll be a link in the description if you want to check that out, but we will be keeping you in the loop with the updates that are there. So you guys can have us in the background, go do your chores or have your breakfast or have your dinner wherever you are in the world. And yeah, essentially just keeping you very much up to date. Of course, we have XPB, which are our image partner, where they are also in Barcelona, taking snaps, uploading them for us almost immediately so we can show you some glorious pictures from today and give you an idea of what's going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've had one time. It's Gasly, and he's done a 1:33.999. So not too much to read into that, other than Yuki Tsunoda.
Where are you seeing that? Where are you seeing that time,
eh? On the Race live media hub. They've just posted it, but it's an unrepresentative time.
I don't see it. I don't see
the
that.
Times will appear when we've got like more times on the board and it's like properly updating.
Have you got like a special access to this? Oh no! I see. It's the 808 post.
808. Yeah. It's not
I was looking for the actual timing thing.
That will appear.
So yeah, 33.999. So well into the under the 134s for Gasly. Huge lap. But if you're new and you didn't see it yesterday, just a bunch of waffle, bunch of chilling, bunch of testing chat, answering some of your questions as well if we possibly can, analysing to a very surface level what we're seeing on the cars, but then finding out a bit more understanding through our colleagues at The Race. So, it's a pleasure to have you all along. We've got nearly 5,000 of you already at this time in the morning, so it's great to have you. And hello from Australia, says Evan. I see R-Done0 in there again. Great to see you there, my friend. One of our moderators. Hello, Sangram. 7:10 from Australia. I bet this is actually a better time for you, Trigon. So...
Do you fancy going through the... Should we go through the lineup?
Yeah, you know what,
Tommy... There's nothing to talk about.
Tommy, take us through. Come on.
Okay. So Mercedes, we have Hamilton in the morning and Russell in the afternoon. Red Bull, it's Sergio Perez all day. Ferrari, Sainz first, then Leclerc. McLaren, I've got Ricciardo all day. Alpine, Ocon all day. AlphaTauri, Gasly all day. Aston Martin, Stroll and Vettel. Stroll in the morning, Vettel in the afternoon. Alpha, Bottas in the morning. Guan Yu Zhou in the afternoon. So Guan Yu Zhou's got to wait a bit to get in a Formula 1 car. And then Haas is Schumacher in the morning and Mazepin in the afternoon. So most teams have just kind of swapped around what they were doing yesterday, whether that's the two drivers, AM and PM, or obviously some people were in all day, like Max, Lando, Fernando. So now their teammates get to do the whole day, which I don't know how much to read into it, but I always find it interesting that some teams decide we're going to put two drivers in the same day and have two different bits, and then other teams are just like, no, you drive all day for 8 hours. Like Max did 2.5 Spanish Grand Prix distances yesterday, which is absolutely insane. And so did ridiculous. Fernando, to be fair. Fernando was not far off.
But, I think it's probably a bit of personal preference as well, to be honest. Verstappen, is probably one of those that's so eager to get out there, get some laps on the board. And, once you've kind of had this morning session, I say this like I'm a Formula One driver, but once you've had that morning session, 4 hours, of course, you're not doing 4 hours of continuous running. You might think, you know what, I'm just getting up to speed, getting used to this this new F1 car. I don't want to then have to wait till tomorrow to have another go. So I feel like for some drivers, it works better that they have a full day and then allow Perez, for example, from Red Bull to go in fully for this day. So yeah, I think it works quite nicely.
Oh, did I not read Williams? We got timing now. Sorry, if I didn't read Williams, I thought I did, but if I didn't, it was Albon in the morning and Latifi in the afternoon.
There you go. And Albon has set a stonking 1 minute 48.444, which is lit the timesheets up hugely. So we've got Gasly, Sainz, Albon, Ricciardo, Ocon, and Stroll out on track. So some keen beans ready to give us some running straight from the get-go. Tommy clearing his throat, getting ready for another 3 hours.
Not had my coffee yet.
You actually are departing, aren't you, after the morning session and leaving me to speak for 16 hours over 2 days. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we're going to start doing substitutes now because...
Apart from me. Well, at least for tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe Friday we'll swap a bit. But yes, I was extremely tired when I finished yesterday. I was like, oh my word, my brain can't even focus.
Yeah, it was funny. My girlfriend, Sophie, she's just started streaming. She was like, oh, Matt, do you want to come on my stream? And I was like, I don't want to speak another word for the rest of time. So we decided against it. But yeah.
It was fun, by the way.
It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Like, genuinely, I've never seen 8 hours go by as quickly for something so little that we were watching, if you see what I mean. And hopefully it's the same for you guys as well. That it's... we try and give you as much content as we possibly can, and as much information, and as much bants, and as much waffle, and as much everything else that you possibly could wish for.
It's quite cheesy, but it was definitely like one of those days where we're like, we're doing good, because I don't think I've ever received so many nice messages about what we do at WTF1 and stuff. We get the odd one, but yesterday so many people tweeting us saying like, oh, I was so gutted that it wasn't, F1 aren't showing anything and Sky Sports aren't showing anything. And, I've just had you on my TV all day, just chatting, and really appreciate you being, chatting away for 8 hours. So, yeah, I really appreciate all the messages that we got yesterday. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was so nice. The fact that over the morning and the afternoon, we hit over 1 million views combined, which is absolutely insane. So thank you, everybody, for coming back once again for day 2. This is it's not over yet. We're not even halfway through what is this shakedown pre-season launch, not launch thing, whatever you want to call it. If you actually are wondering what went on yesterday, we did a little recap video, which is on our YouTube channel right now. I would suggest maybe watching it maybe in lunchtime, because of course if you're watching that, you're not watching this, so be sure to check that out at some point. But to be fair, it's actually doing rather well, so maybe you have already seen it. Let's keep an eye. So as I say, we're keeping an eye on the race live text updates. We also can ask any questions over to our guys on the ground. We're going to see how many times I say on the ground today. I reckon it's going to be solidly into the sort of 50s, I reckon. But yeah, idea is just to keep you as informed as possible because we want to know as much as you do as what's going on. So it's beneficial to both of us if we ask the questions.
Yeah. Loving the picture we've got up at the moment of the practice starts at the end of yesterday. Such a colourful grid this year. Love to see it.
Absolutely. You're keeping an eye, of course, aren't you, Tommy, on the images and whether there's anything that goes up straight away?
I've just sent you a new one. There's just some. There's still not got too many from Thursday. Oh yeah, we're starting to get some Thursday pictures now.
Hello.
But nice little sunset. That one I sent you is actually from yesterday.
I'd hope so.
The sunset.
I hope the sun hasn't set already.
No, but the sunrise looks obviously very similar.
No, it's true actually. Yeah, it's very true.
I wonder how
they differ.
We've got a picture from today. Comparison between sunrise and sunset.
Wow, we really
technical analysis.
We're 17 minutes into the day 2 already going down that route. Of course, guys, we will be playing random games like what does this facial expression mean? We did it for yesterday with Lando Norris, where I believe he was yawning, but there were some debate as to whether he was sneezing or, in fact, shouting or crying. So. Yeah, that definitely looks like a sunset picture to me. But then again, I don't actually know the difference between the two. Okay, actually, the track has gone completely quiet. Just so you know. All 6 went out, and all 6 came in, apparently.
It's just like a free practice session.
yeah, exactly.
Love to
most
see
lap
it.
time, or most laps completed is by Sainz at the moment, 5 laps that he's done. So it feels like maybe a small little installation, make sure everything's working. Because there's no real fast lap times there. I mean, a Gasly with 1 minute 33 is not scaring the 1 minute 19.5 from Lando yesterday. So just a little shakedown for the shakedown before we get into more shaking down. So that's lovely. Oh, you sent me another picture.
This is sunrise, so we can compare the two. Very similar.
So sunset versus sun. Oh, there we go. Sunrise. Oh, well, you can see the way the light reflects on the car. It's quite obviously a sunrise. Sure. Definitely can tell the difference. But you can see that there are some aero rakes on it.
Yeah, aero rakes again.
That's the Aston, isn't it? From what I can see, there's a bit of green there. So I'd assume that is the Aston from that preview. Yeah, big old rakes. We saw some strange aero rakes on the rear of the Ferrari yesterday, didn't we? That you kind of described it as it looked like the Ferrari had gone rear end into the wall because it had been mangled like it was some sort of barbed wire fence. It
looked like some, I don't know, Skyrim weapon or something. It was very very odd. Not seen aero rake like that before.
So quite an interesting point that the race have already covered in their live text update, which I'll keep you very much in the loop of. That some people are asking, what's the reason for a driver who finished the session yesterday getting into the car again this morning? Well, teams don't see the point in changing the seat, pedals, etc. overnight just to change them again at lunchtime. So they'll keep the car as it is at the end of as it was at the end of yesterday, and then change once during the break. So yeah, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Really, there's no point putting extra work for no reason if they can just continue on. If they did, of course, split half and half yesterday. Gasly has set a 1 minute 31.790. We're really ramping up the times now. I reckon Gasly is smelling like a big old 150 laps today. That's what I'm predicting. He already got 7 on the board. We're 20 minutes in. Yeah, Gasly, I feel like he wants some mileage today.
Should we get a predictor in the chat of right now of who will get the most laps and how many it will be? So most yesterday was Verstappen. He did 147. Is anyone going to beat it?
So who will put in the most laps? Or actually, no, because I guess there's too many people.
Oh, we don't need to do.
I want to do a poll. Will
do a poll?
Max Verstappen's 147 lap count be beaten today? Yes or no? Boom. Yeah, we love a poll here, Tommy. Don't you remember?
We do.
We had 116,000 people vote on.
But they wanted to see testing.
Yeah, they want to see, and 96% said they did want to see testing. Shock. No surprise there.
Yes. think despite the 5 people on Twitter that didn't care about testing, and that's fine. You don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Have
a great day.
Enjoy your time. It's fine. But yeah, a lot of people did want to see testing, and I think that showed by our views yesterday, whether that was people joining and going, oh, there's no coverage. I thought it might be coverage.
What do you mean?
Or just joining, because we did have a lot of people join and enjoy it.
We did indeed. So, yeah, that picture that we've just posted of the Aston sunrise, lovely little picture. The race have also just popped it up. I'm just going to do a bit of reflection maybe on yesterday, and we need to change the race link in the description. If you could do that, Tommy, that would be great. It's just been popped in Slack.
Correct. Yeah, good point.
And then we will change that. Thank you, Sophie, for letting us know about that. So, more than 1,100 laps were logged yesterday, with 8 of the 10 teams surpassing the 100 lap mark. Thankfully, Tommy, Norris got 103, so that made me very happy. Will we get anywhere close to that today? Or will the totals be lower if teams begin to switch to performance work? Which is a good question. It seemed as though performance wouldn't really come until Bahrain. That was sort of the understanding, was that it was going to very much be putting the car through its paces in terms of reliability and testing the extremes of setup. Will we see any performance work? Will we see times into the 19s? Lando put quite a funny tweet out, didn't he?
Yeah, I saw that.
About everyone now hyping him because of how quickly he went. And then even, I think he must be the first, he definitely is the first driver in history to top an F1 testing session and say, a mega lol.
Oh, right. Yeah. But also, it's just very Lando Norris to be like, it's just his personality.
Is that lol?
Personality, isn't it? That's like, I topped the session, but please don't think we're good.
Yeah, literally.
whereas other drivers are like, yeah, P1, flex emoji. And his is just a much more, personality led with his social, just like saying, saying what he wants, which is what we like to see.
Absolutely.
That's why we follow people on social media. We want to see what they say, not their social media managers. Certain people.
Yeah. Just so you know, because a lot of people are joining just now. We did say at the top of the show, but I think as more people join, it's worth saying that our thoughts and prayers are for the people in Ukraine. There's a horrible news that came out this morning, and because I know that I know that some people would have heard us say at the start, but I know a lot of people have joined since. So, we have kind of said our respects and our condolences to people out there in Ukraine, and we hope that the situation improves very, very quickly, because it's absolutely terrifying and sickening.
Right, I'm going to find some more. Oh, we've got a lot more pictures now.
All right, so
should we drop some more pictures?
Yep, absolutely.
You can't. Should we play? Let's play. Guess the car in the sunset shot.
Okay, yeah, let's play Guess the car. Is it that difficult?
And then I can. Yes, I think it is.
Right, send it over. Let's see what happens.
Will do. We've got until we get some lighter shots where we can actually see the cars. And we'll let everyone guess in the comments before you say. I'm gonna
guess that. Oh, hold on. Lewis Hamilton has gone fastest with a 1 minute 28.799 on the C3 tyre, 3 laps in. So there you go.
What time throw was that?
1 minute 28.799. Hamilton has gone fastest. Don't worry, he's still nearly 10 seconds off the pace from yesterday. It's not anything. I just thought I'd hype it up, because why not? Fast lap times mean, well, not fast, but P1 lap times deserve hype, even if it is testing.
I've already ruined my my naming system.
Okay, I'll try not to read it.
Obviously, no, it doesn't matter. But yesterday, obviously, we were joking that I was calling everything ASDF. I started off well today. Day 2 was my first one, sunset.png, then sunrise.png, and now it's just .png.
That is 100% a Ferrari. Because you can see the Shell logo.
Oh,
Sorry, mate.
I'm going to say don't ruin it for let
mean?
people guess first.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean? I thought this was our
Let
game.
people guess first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, true. Okay, we'll do another one.
Okay, and I won't say anything.
Right, another one.
Okay, so whilst you're doing that, there's a question that's been asked to the race and Scott Mitchell, which is around why isn't this being televised or streamed on F1 TV? A big question. And Scott Mitchell answers with, honestly, nobody's been given a straight answer, but it broadly comes down to viewing this as a glorified shakedown for the new cars. Maybe there were fears there wouldn't be a huge amount of running or there would be too much secrecy. Testing being televised, streamed is a recent phenomenon, so this isn't that unusual, but I suppose it is for the Liberty Media era. This is officially a pre-season track session, not a full pre-season test, so there isn't the full suite of data and coverage available. Then things will really start hyping up Bahrain as the pre-season test. F1 will have all its bells and whistles on for that one. Here, though, it's back to how testing used to be before it hit the TV screen all day, every day. And there's plenty of rumours that cover as to what potentially has happened in terms of why it's not been streamed. But look, nothing has been confirmed. So, it's a difficult thing to really be able to bring you. So have we got another
it'd be
one?
interesting to see what they do next year after. Yeah, got another one sent over, so everyone can guess.
Right, everybody, guess this car.
Is it on there now?
It is.
Everyone's still guessing the last one. It's coming up for me. Right.
Oh, I know what that is.
Do you know what that one is?
I know what that is, yeah. I know what that car is. Does everyone else know what that car is? Guess. Guess on screen now. What car is that? Oh, my dad's in chat. Hi, Dad.
Wow. Our audience know their F1.
They do. They know their F1. They know it's the nose. The nose is very striking. A little bit similar to Ferrari in some ways in terms of
quite bulbous.
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
Gonna catch him. Right. We've got some news.
I'm going to do another one while you get the news. I'm going to get another one ready.
Will you play the game? And I'll give people actually real things. Okay. It's just from the race live text updates. Alfa Romeo news from Mark Hughes. We understand Alfa Romeo has flown new parts in overnight, which are expected to allow the car to be run with a lower ride height than was necessary yesterday to control the severe porpoising the car was experiencing, basically bouncing up and down on the ground, not completely connected to the floor at all times. It's the only car we haven't seen on track this morning so far, so they're probably fitting the new bits. And that means, yes, Mercedes are out there with Lewis Hamilton, a 1 minute 28.799, as I say. But look, these times are absolutely nowhere near what we will look for maybe later today. Remember, it was a 19.5, Lando Norris's fastest time on the C4 tyre yesterday. And then it was Ferrari 2.3. So let's see what happens today. But it won't happen for a very long time, I don't think. These kind of times didn't seem to ramp up until right at the end. Oh, well, at least for Lando, we did have Charles Leclerc on the 20.1 for quite a long time throughout the day. People are saying, I'm just having a look at the... Okay.
People are saying,
yeah.
blah, blah,
people
blah,
are saying,
crashed.
Oh my God, Mansell's in the wall.
I hope his AlphaTauri mustache is all right.
Question from Segal. Is it concerning the fact Alfa Romeo and Haas didn't make a lot of laps? Absolutely, Segal. I bantered on social media about Haas and, the fact that they were like, oh, wait till next year. And then this year comes and like, wait till next year. But also Alfa Romeo, yeah, absolutely. Both teams not looking great after the first day of testing. But look, they've got this today to turn it around. If they put a huge chunk of mileage in, and I'm talking like over 100, definitely, then, they're back on track. But they need to put 100 laps in my opinion, if they want that data.
Yeah, they're the biggest surprises. Not biggest surprises, but biggest shock that
Hold on, Tommy.
You can't sugarcoat it.
Ocon has gone fastest. Sorry, I just feel like a 1 minute 24
4 seconds.
Ocon and Alpine.
Wow, here we go.
That's
World
it.
Champs.
Unbelievable. Alpine. I knew that livery was amazing. Oh wow.
I actually like it a lot more on track.
I thought you were going to say I like it a lot more on Ocon.
Yeah.
Ocon just suits it better.
Well, he's worn BWT a lot in his career.
But he can't believe it. Can't believe he's back in pink overalls. So yeah, Ocon's gone fastest on a 24.714, which is 5 seconds off what we saw yesterday. But maybe ramping up a bit quicker than what we expected. Half an hour into this 8-hour testing session. Oh no, I've accidentally moved that. That's not good. There we go. My apologies.
We've got a new picture. I've got a new picture, and I've taken a bit more of the lighting out of it,
okay.
so we can't see the sponsor logos and things.
Right.
So
what car is? Oh, the thing is, I've got a ring light shining into my face as well, which means I can't see the colours even more.
Yeah.
That's difficult. That one. I'm trying to use what I learnt yesterday in terms of like the shape of the rear wing, and you can't really even see the front wing.
Yeah, you can't see much at all in that one. Let's see what people think
Next,
what that is.
If people get this one, Tommy's literally just going to just not put a car on track. So
okay, that's good. There is a mix. There are a few people getting it right, but a lot of people it is a mix of everything.
I think that is the Alpine.
It is the Alpine.
Yes! Get in there, Lewis! British bias. Unbelievable. I'm so proud of myself. I'm learning things, guys. I'm learning. So I'm going to ask who is out on track. Who is out on track? See, that's the beauty. I've got, guys, the information at my fingertips. I can just speak to the guys at the race, and they tell me who's out on track. It's a beautiful partnership. And one which you can also check out their live text updates in the description below. What are you laughing at, Tommy?
I just love the internet when you've clearly said it's Alpine, and we've gone, yes, it's Alpine, and everyone in the chat's going, Alpine, yeah, I know that.
It's like when you're marking your own sort of whatever, like a quiz or whatever. You're like, oh, well, that is actually right. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely right. So let's see what's happening out on track through no coverage. We've not got... Oh, yeah, I was actually reflecting on what happened yesterday. So there was a lot of laps. You've run through exactly what went on, didn't you, in terms of driver swaps today. Yep. Ed Straw's been answering a question, which was, would you expect to see teams fitting new parts to their cars on day 2? And Ed Straw says, it's very possible there might be some late arrival parts that arrive ready to be bolted on, and there's always the possibility that someone has something they wanted to hide for a bit longer. As it's due to rain tomorrow, today is likely to be more valuable for performance runnings. If you do have anything now is the time to put it on the car. But I'd expect there to be far more new parts appearing in the Bahrain test. It's also still so early in this generation of cars that we're still spotting new things all of the time. So I'm sure some interesting things will crop up, whatever happens. So there you go. So I still, it's the start of testing, shakedown, whatever you want to call it. And there are going to be a lot of different things that the teams want to test. So it's going to be interesting to see what we see, especially between AM and PM. You know, that's something that we noticed yesterday with the Red Bull cooling and things like that. They were testing different. I think Mercedes did as well between George and Lewis. They tested a different cooling system as well. So yeah, it's cool to see this sort of stuff, even if I am not an aerodynamicist and I don't exactly fully understand what's going on. Does any F1 fan really understand what's going on?
I think this has been an exciting season, even for someone that's not hugely techie when it comes to Formula One. It's great that, I mean, at the end of the day, when we start racing, I hope it's close, but it's been fun in testing to see what different cars, like how people have got around that solution. We said yesterday that there was worry that, every single one might look like a show car. But instead, they're all really different. I mean, even just the maybe I'll find that again. The comparison we did between the side pods of the Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull, the 3 different teams, 3 top teams from last year, completely different. Let me Let me put that in our new template.
Lovely. You've sent me another
level
game image.
ultra difficult.
Ultra difficult. Here we go.
Well,
Boom.
it might not be. It's really hard to like Photoshop it so you can't see any logos, but there might still be stuff on there.
I think I know what that is.
Okay.
Pretty sure I know what that is. Let's see what the chat say. I'll try not to shout it out, but I think I'm right. Although I'm now doubting myself. Let's see what people say in the chat. What do you think that car is in the sunrise of today? Have we actually got any normal images yet? Have we got any images of cars actually out on track that don't look like they are
they're not out on track, but they are in the pit lane.
Yeah,
so
let's get some in the pit lane
let's
stuff.
get some of them.
Lovely.
I've just sent you the side pod picture though.
Oh yeah, lovely stuff.
This is quite interesting to see who people think this car is.
So we're seeing some Aston, some Red Bull, some Aston Martin, some McLaren. I think that is... No, but the colour of the nose, that's different, fam. You're trying to throw me off here. Oh, it's difficult. I was immediately going to say Red Bull, but I don't think it is.
It's very interesting. A lot of people are guessing Red Bull.
It's not, because the nose isn't that colour. Is it AlphaTauri?
It is, yeah. Interesting that you just look at the car shape. It kind of looks like, as soon as I took all the colour out of it, I was like, that looks like the Red Bull.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, take ages to Photoshop, but just Photoshopping all the cars so they're just white and you can see everything, like that would be
quite
so
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a cool game actually. Maybe that's something you can do on social media over the course of the coming days.
Maybe.
A little game.
400 hours in Photoshop.
Yeah. I just get Benji to do it. It's fine. He's free. Cool. So there you go. That is the. I love how people are still guessing. They're like AlphaTauri. Okay. So what else are we seeing out on track at the moment? Ocon is still fastest by 4.5 seconds. There is a interesting comparison where, of course, last year, I think we spoke about this a little bit yesterday, but obviously last year we didn't have pre-season testing in Barcelona. So 2020 is the most recent comparison, maybe not the most relevant potentially because the cars were quite a bit quicker, but the fastest Barcelona test time from 2020 was a 1 minute 15.732 from Bottas. But the day one and day two bests were a 1 minute 16.976 and a 1 minute 17.091. And of course, Norris set a 19.568 on day one yesterday. So they are definitely slower. I think that's fair to say. But by how much, we don't know.
Yeah, don't see them go
how much they'll ramp up. You'd expect there to be a greater evolution in times as the teams start to understand the car more 100%, and the drivers as well.
Yeah, very true. The thing is, maybe controversially, I don't really care how fast they are. as long as they're fast enough, I couldn't care about the records. I just want the racing to be good. And we've had this new era where they're really quick and amazing in qualifying, but they can't overtake, and a lot of the races are boring if there's no safety car. So,
it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't
I'm one of those
matter.
people that doesn't. It's quite cool for the records, and we'll look back on 2017, 2021. No, 2020 was the record, was it? When they were ultra fast, like the fastest as they were. Yes, because that's when Hamilton set the Monza lap record. Yeah. But yeah, it's we'll look back on them, and it's a bit like 2004, right? Everyone looks back on that Montoya lap and goes, wow, the screaming V10 engine. This was proper Formula One. The cars look twitchy. It's incredible. And you will have a very different view of this to me, but I just remember that race being Schumi winning 15 races, and that is a love or hate, depending if you're me or you.
Absolutely loved every second. I really did. Hold on. Lance Stroll has gone to the top of the timesheets with a 1 minute 22.916. We're only 3.4 seconds off what we saw yesterday already. Lance Stroll with 9 laps on the board, really starting to ramp up. It has to be said. We've gone full commentary now, Tommy. 41 minutes into this day 2 testing. And, what a great lap. Riding on board actually now with Lance Stroll. He's turned right for turn 1. He's turned left for turn 2. He's turned right for turn 3. He's turned right for turn 4. He's turned left for turn 5. Turn 6, turn left. Turn 7, turn right. Turn 8, turn right. I'm not just doing the whole track, man. Turn 9, turn left. Oh, yeah, but then you got the different... You got turn 10... No, turn 9 is... I've forgotten one tiny corner because turn 10 is the newly profiled one, isn't it? Because I remember bantering about it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed up a corner somewhere. It's too early. Anyway, Ed Straw from the race has said, today could be the most valuable one of the first test. I imagine that's... It's fine. It's early. But basically, he's basically saying that this test could be more valuable even than the first one. Tomorrow is due rain, and even if it doesn't, the intention is to dampen the track and use wets in the afternoon anyway. So expect to see plenty of laps today with teams hoping to get into more detailed setup work and performance running. Certainly those who had good days yesterday. Hopefully we'll get some good long runs today. That's the dream. Ocon's already done 13 laps, as has Gasly. Who's your bet for who's going to do most laps? Mine's Gasly. What's yours?
Ocon.
Okay, we're neck and neck at the moment. I like your style. You've gone for whoever's winning at the moment. Over 10,000 of you already joining at 8:42 in the morning. Lovely to see you. Yeah, Alonso had a great run yesterday as well. Yeah. Good shout. But yeah, over 10,000 of you. Thank you so much for coming and joining once again for day 2 and this morning's running. We are keeping you as up to date as we possibly can as what's going on. We've got the race on the ground, which we are tapping into their information as much as we can. So any questions, be sure to fire them in the chat, and I'll try and read them. We've got that is a picture that you've just sent me.
Is it the Martin Whitmarsh one? Yeah, he looks like he's judging you.
That is
like he's staring into your soul.
Come on. We don't want to lose too many viewers, but who's a little bit scared looking at that? Like that's a little bit scary the way he's looking into our soul right now. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to turn it back because that's scary. That's scary as anything. Let's go back to the McLaren. That's much more inviting. The rear end of the McLaren. So there you go. That is a very cool shot, to be fair. Lots of aero rakes on that McLaren, trying to get as much data as possible about the airflow and the way in which the aerodynamics work on that car. So many sensor points, it's ridiculous. And they will be trying to gather as much information as possible. Because, the wind tunnel's great, but they only get a limited amount of time in that wind tunnel to test the car. And there's nothing better than good old wind, Tommy? Actual natural wind.
Exactly. You can do anything you can do all you can on a computer, but until you actually get it out on track, it's a lot more difficult to know how the car is. And we have seen teams in the past get completely caught out by their wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Like they've it's gone completely wrong and they've misunderstood all the information and it's not right, and chaos ensues, and they get out on track and go, oh dear.
Hold on. Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari has gone fastest with a 1 minute 21.708. The Ferrari hype train is leaving the station again. I'm the conductor. Get in, Tommy. Come on, you know you want to. Choo-choo. Right, come on, who's in? Who's bought their ticket? Who's getting on the Matt Ferrari hype train? Can I see some comments in the chat, please, if you are getting in to the red, beautifully branded train that I am now apparently licensed to drive. So if you want to come on board the Ferrari hype train, we are opening. We've got 20% discount, actually, on our Ferrari hype train tickets. So let me know if you'd like to buy them. Yes, so Ferrari, P1. 21.7. Love and life.
You're back on the hype train
now. I was always on it. There might have been some sarcastic tweets where the Ferrari dream was over when Norris went fastest. It's all banter and it's good sarcasm.
Norris was the only one that set a time on the C4, wasn't it? Like a quick time. Right?
Yeah. I think Sainz went out on the C4 but didn't improve, I think.
Yeah,
or
that's what
didn't go for a push lap. So there's a lot of people that have just bought a ticket for this Ferrari hype train. So thank you. It's great. This will go straight towards my Ferrari merch. So thank you so much for buying tickets. Right, so anything else to know? Oh yeah, there's been a lot of talk from the race and the guys out there in Barcelona that apparently Max Verstappen is driving or becoming an extreme Jenson Button. His driving style apparently has changed a lot, and how it's very different to the likes of how Charles Leclerc's driving the Ferrari. Whether that is literally just them testing out different driving styles, who knows? Or the way in which these cars are naturally supposed to be driven, or maybe just the Red Bull and how that's supposed to be driven. There's a lot of differing factors, but there is a lot of talk about Verstappen changing his driving style to be very smooth as opposed to aggressive on the wheel like he has been in previous years.
I mean, if it makes him fast, it doesn't matter, but I don't support Max Verstappen for him to drive like Jenson Button, just saying.
Yeah, I can probably guarantee you, Tommy, he's not going to drive like Jenson Button.
No, I know.
Especially not in the racecraft area. I think he'll probably be a little bit more aggressive, just going by the evidence of last year.
He'll be pitting for, like, the Jenson Button tactic of pitting for wets every time it starts pitting with rain, and just hope it pays off.
Oh wow, Jenson Button slander here. I mean, yeah, it's fair. It's funny actually. I was I don't know why I thought about this, but I was watching Ted's Notebook last night, and then it rolled into the British Grand Prix highlights, which I thought was a very interesting showing from Sky Sports, and relived Cop's Corner again, which was always great. All I can think about is Twitter when that happens.
They are trying to ham up that drama so much. I saw they got a bit of beef from their, I think it was Craig Slater did a testing review, and they opened with it was like a what we've learned from testing, and it was a 7-minute video. In the first 5 minutes, they were talking about Hamilton versus Verstappen, and how Hamilton didn't look Verstappen in the eye when he walked down the pit lane, and it's like, I thought Netflix were bad for fake drama, but like, this is not what the fans want.
Yeah,
they love it. They love it that there's a bit of rivalry on track, but you don't need to fake like that they absolutely despise each other. They both come out, like Hamilton came out after Abu Dhabi and said, this isn't on Max. And equally, Max has said, I respect Lewis as a driver. He's an amazing driver. It was a hard fought season, but people want to hype up the whole fake drama.
Storylines sell, don't they? That's
but do you need to?
I mean, have you seen like boxing, for example? Jesus Christ, they're like, I hate each other. I hate you for 6 months, and then as soon as they've had their fight, oh, big respect, bro. Yeah, thanks so much for the $5 million paycheck. Actually, hold on, before we need to move away from boxing and back to the racetrack. Carlos Sainz has set a new fastest lap of 1 minute 21.010. 10 laps he has completed so far on the C3 tyre. The Ferrari train has left the station. I'm sorry, there are no more tickets available. Thank you so much for anyone that is on board. We will be offering refreshments and a small Ferrari cookie for anyone that's come on. So thank you.
I sent you a new guess the car picture, and
another
I want to see.
Car picture.
I want to see what, and then we'll go back to some proper photos because the sunlight is out. We've got some proper pictures
Tommy,
now.
We can quite clearly see the logo on the front.
Well, let's see what people say. Is it photoshopped or not? Have I tricked everyone into believing?
You even called the... No, I can see the AlphaTauri. No, actually, no, it might...
Oh, this has worked exactly as I wanted it to.
Well, at the back, it just looks like there's a bit of the AlphaTauri logo there, but then that could just be the way the light's reflecting on it, and it's in fact the Red Bull logo.
Come on, everyone in the chat. What is that? What car is that?
I'm just trying... Oh, no, the rear wing looks very flat.
Red Bull, Ferrari.
Well, no, but you can't have...
Mercedes.
No, there's no way. There's no way that the back part of that car is definitely either an AlphaTauri or a
Oh,
Red
this
Bull.
has worked. This has worked.
No, don't.
Beautifully well.
Man, this is an
exactly
absolute
what I wanted
disgrace.
to.
I think that is. Oh no! Wait, the nose. Think of the nose, Matt. The curves down quite a bit, and that would suggest a. Oh no! I think it is the Red Bull. Is it the Red Bull?
Okay. No, it is the Mercedes with a photoshopped Red Bull on it, and I even put the Shell logo over the Petronas logo.
Oh, you're an
to make people think it was a Ferrari as well. I love to see it.
You called the blooming image Red Bull as well. You're an absolute disgrace. You've sent me down the river. Okay, I like this game. It's good. Keep doing this. I do like it. Whilst we're waiting for more images, this is a good game to play.
Okay, I'll put some images up of. I'll send you a few images to
in the meantime.
Chat about in the meantime, and then I'll get back on the old.
Sounds good. So out on track at the moment is Sainz, Ocon, Albon, and Perez. So still may see some improvements out there.
This is a great
sneeze.
photo.
And I'm back. There's a great photo, did you say, Tommy?
Yeah.
We've got a great photo coming. I'm looking forward to it.
James Moy, XPB. I just like it. It's cool. Bit of side-by-side racing.
A little bit of racing.
The new regulations working really well. Just a cool shot. 2 cars side by side.
Yeah? Oh, send me. Here we go. All right. Boom. Download. Right. That's a lovely picture. Right. Let's take a look at this. It's Perez and Albon. Oh, look at that. Will it be a Williams Red Bull fight for the championship? Probably not. But you never know. You never know.
Perez versus Albon, as it was for the Red Bull seat in in 21.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh, storylines. Look at that. Storylines.
Story.
Drop that out there. As you can see, Perez is out there on the C2 tyre. So you can see if you're looking at a picture and you're wondering what tyre they're on, C1 is white but with no brackets. C2 you can see there's got the white brackets around there. C3 is yellow. C4 is red with brackets. And C5 is red without brackets. But I don't think we've actually seen the C5 yet. And it seems as though Albon is on the C4 from the red trimming I can see right there. But yeah, so it's a lovely looking picture, that one. How will Perez fare this year? It's a good opportunity for him, for sure. You know, Verstappen has to learn the car as much as Perez does. And, you know, I think it will properly test Perez's adaptability into this year. Last year was disappointing in some ways. I think, you know, better performances from him and they would have won the constructors as well. But ultimately, Perez won Verstappen the world title. So how negatively do you look upon a season if he literally helped his teammate win the championship? From a teammate perspective, you know, he did everything that he needed to do. But maybe from his own personal performances, he'll be hoping for a bit better. Because there were moments where he was matching, especially in race pace. But there were a few times where he dropped off quite significantly. So interested to see. And Christian Horner's already come out and said quite recently that Max Verstappen is the best driver in the world. So it might be quite difficult to get close to a driver like that.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, I think Perez has said that he's going to go for the aim is the world title, but that's Max's team at the end of the day. I'd be amazed. It would take, Red Bull being extremely good and Max having DNFs, because I think just, the whole car is built around him. To give Perez some credit, I mean, he was a lot better towards the end of the season, and a lot of that, people believe, was that he sort of started to go on his own setup, which is maybe that was what Albon's problem was, that Verstappen, we mentioned earlier, him adapting his driving style. I wouldn't necessarily, he's got an unbelievably unique driving style, but it's clearly it's something that some drivers wouldn't do. And the fact that, he's that Perez started to, as a more mature driver, just going like, I'm going to set up the car how I want it, rather than just going, Verstappen's really quick, this is the setup I need to go quick and learn. And I think once Perez, and I think once Perez started doing that they were the races where, he still wasn't beating Max, but he was popping like third. But at the end of the day, I mean, Hamilton and Verstappen last year were just so clear. They were just unbelievable form.
Yeah, and it's not as though Bottas was particularly much better as a number 2 either. He had his very lackluster performances as well, which isn't something we saw of Bottas probably that consistently. And I think maybe it just shows the level in which Verstappen and Hamilton took each other to last year. That Bottas just couldn't keep up. Speaking of Bottas, he has been out there for 2 laps today. Yeah, the consistency is just ridiculous. Verstappen finished first or second in every race that he wasn't either crashed into or DNF'd, which is an absolutely insane stat to have over the course of an entire season. Not having one race where you go, the car doesn't feel that great this week, I'm going to finish third.
Yeah,
that just didn't happen.
It's mad. I think it's almost underplayed, and I'm sure all the Verstappen fanboy comments will come flying in, but it's almost obviously, and it's understandable, it's underplayed because of what happened in Abu Dhabi. Like, I'm not gonna pretend it wasn't a travesty the way it ended, but it's almost like underplayed that stat is absolutely insane. Like, if it was for a bit of better luck, Baku, Hungary, and then Silverstone and Silverstone and Monza, you could say is 50-50, or you don't, whatever, but he would have finished first or second in a 22 race season consistently. It's like ridiculous. That's absolutely mad.
Ridiculous.
And
when you look at it on paper, Verstappen definitely did deserve the world title over the course of the season. Whatever happened in Abu Dhabi is separate, and I completely feel that Hamilton was robbed in that particular race and instance. But if you look over the course of the season, Verstappen did deserve the world title. He did get a little bit messy towards the end of the year. With a few,
it was. There's no. I can't even defend him for. And at the end of the day, that's probably like, at the end of the day, it's desperation. Like, we've seen that. Like, Hamilton hasn't done it to that extreme, but it's very easy to say, like, Hamilton. Say someone like Hamilton, it's like, oh well, he's never had to resort to kind of that desperation, but like, when 2016, he backed up his own teammate into the chasing pack to try and win the world title, which in my opinion was absolutely fine. He's got every right to do, but his team obviously were telling him, don't do this, it's an order. And he was still doing it. And it shows that, like, when you're in that situation, it's very easy to be like, oh, don't do this. But I think a lot of the driving, you wouldn't have seen Verstappen driving the way he did at the end of the season if he'd won Baku, if he'd not been punted off in Hungary, and he had a 50-point lead going into the last 2 races, because he could have just finished second again and just let Hamilton go. And even though it's Max Verstappen, I think he probably would have done that. But he knew in something like Saudi Arabia that he had to bend the rules as much as possible. And I think it was clear that Michael Massey and the stewards were willing to let anything go to make sure that they were level on points going into that last race.
Very interesting. Right, back to testing and day 2. There's a good point that I've just read on the race live text updates, which is a link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Would it be better? Would it be a better idea to compare this first generation of these cars to the 2017 cars as the first development of the wide cars, rather than the concluded development of the 2020 cars? This might then give us an idea of how much they could become faster. And the race have said. Good thought. As we said earlier, by 2020, Barcelona testing the previous generation of cars were lapping in the 1 minute 15s here, compared to yesterday's 1 minute 19.6 best from, well, actually, I think it was 0.5 from, oh no, 1 minute, compared to yesterday's 1 minute 19.6 best from day one of the 2022 era. But back in 2017, when the wider cars made their debuts, the top day one test time was 1 minute 21.765 from Hamilton's Mercedes, a full 6 seconds off where the cars would be 3 years later. The best of that first week of 2017 testing was a 1 minute 19.705, which was from Bottas, who had just joined Mercedes at that point. So interesting, but if you actually compare it to the first year of a new era, then Lando actually went just over a tenth quicker than what we saw in 2017. So
interesting, yeah, because there will be development. The cars will get quicker. They'll try and make them slower, and they'll still somehow get quicker. they'll ban things. Perfect example of that was 2019, I think it was, where they simplified the front wings and they were still quicker. After a few races, it was like, oh, these are meant to be slow them down by a second and make the racing and make them easier to follow and all this. And then within like 4 races, they were quicker.
Yeah, it's going to be a big race of development this year, and fully expect the cars to just get so much faster as they understand the car more and more. So Sainz currently right now is the leader, both in time and also in laps completed, 19 for the Ferrari driver at the moment. Danny Rick has slotted himself in P2 with a 1 minute 22.575. He has done 15 laps, and that was on the C2 tyre. You got Lance Stroll, 22.6, also on the C2, 11 laps completed. Mick Schumacher, 1 minute 24.107 on the C2 tyre, 11 laps completed. Then you got Esteban Ocon, 24.231, C2 tyre, 17 laps. Then you got Gasly, a 27.651 on the C4 tyre, 16 laps completed. Then you got Lewis Hamilton, a 28.799 C3 tyre, 3 laps completed. Albon, 48.444, 11 laps completed. My goodness me, Albon must literally be walking around the track to do 11 laps at a 48.4. Perez has not set a time yet, 4 laps completed in the Red Bull. And Bottas, Alfa Romeo, no time, C3, 2 laps completed. I think the interesting thing for me is Hamilton didn't do as many laps as maybe he would have been hoping for, I'd say, yesterday. I think it was just over 50 laps, wasn't it, that he did yesterday?
Yeah.
When you compare it to George Russell, I think it was, let me get the full day one testing results up just so that...
Are you suggesting that Hamilton is washed?
I could be saying that, yeah. There should be a graph here somewhere. Let me just get it up. That's a lot of... that's not actually got any... I wanted to see how many more laps Lewis completed. I thought it was 27, but day one pre-season Barcelona. Okay, here we go. Right. So, George Russell did 77 laps. According to this, Lewis Hamilton did 40. I'm not sure that's correct. I thought it was 50. Okay, that's just...
let's have a look on races yesterday report.
It was just a lot of... Hamilton did 50. George Russell did 77. So George Russell beat Lewis by 27 laps.
Oh, which, yeah, I remember, because we said that, didn't we, that we were going to do the title.
Big washed. So Lewis did 50 laps, which, is by no means like a panic alarm. But, George has got 27 more laps under his belt, which means he probably feels a little bit more comfortable in the car. And to start the day off, what have we been? An hour and done 3 laps so far, Hamilton. He probably still wants to get out there. And maybe Mercedes are tweaking things, maybe repairing things that we're not sure of. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But... how are they splitting it as well? I think they're doing half a day each as well again today, from what I understand, Tommy. Was that what you read?
Half. Yeah, they're doing
half a day each for 3 days. Lewis would probably want a few more laps, I'd imagine, this morning, and we'll keep an eye out for when he goes out.
I'll send you some more photos.
Oh, thank you very much.
Quite a few.
You haven't actually. You've sent me none since I last looked.
Oh, right. I thought I can't see what your
I've shown
what's on the
Bottas,
screen
and
at the
now
moment.
I'm showing Albon.
Okay, because we weren't talking about the screen. Okay,
Sorry,
have you seen Danny Rick's new helmet? What do people think to that? Because it's quite something.
Have we got a picture
We've
of
not
it?
really. Yeah, it's the third most recent picture.
Oh, is it? Where? Oh, let me just. Oh, I missed it. Cool. All right, I didn't download that one. I'm sorry. There we go. Let's show. There you go. That is Danny Rick's helmet. I think that is rather disgusting. It looks like a golf course.
Yeah. I don't really like it. It's I personally
and by the way, everybody, this is coming from Tommy, the WTF1 founder, but also professional helmet designer. Tommy has made a race helmet for none other than Ainsley Harriott and his racing team.
I've done 6 this year, actually.
6 helmets.
Wow.
Tell me more.
One of them's a secret, but it's an exciting driver that I'm very looking forward to.
Is it
sharing.
Sebastian Vettel?
No, they have a legendary surname. I won't say anything.
Fittipaldi.
Right.
Fittipaldi.
Danny Rick's helmet. Danny Rick's helmet is.
I think I've nailed it.
But stop guessing. If it was Hill, I'd be tweeting about it forever.
Why is it a secret?
Danny Rick's, because I can't reveal it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing it.
NDA. Okay, cool.
Exactly, yeah. Danny Rick's helmet, I love the fact that he's done something different because, in my opinion, modern helmets are too similar and can be a bit too busy, but I don't like how it's been done, basically.
Danny Rick just loves an out there helmet, doesn't he?
I do
loves
love it. But Sebastian Vettel clear. That's all I'm going to say. Best helmet.
Oh, God, I didn't realise Tom had been infiltrated by F1 Twitter. And, it's quite funny. Some people are like, oh, this is absolutely amazing. And some are like, I absolutely despise it.
It's a bit like the McLaren itself.
Yeah.
A Marmite car.
Apparently.
Although I must say, I've seen it on track, the McLaren now, and I'll be honest, I don't actually hate the look of any of the cars on track. And I think that probably partly car shape as well and stuff. Yeah, they're cool. They're cool cars. I'm liking it.
Cool cars.
But they're definitely nowhere near as good as a certain red one. I'll just
Stop it. There are 5 cars currently out on track at the moment. Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, as well as Valtteri Bottas and Alex Albon. Alex Albon has actually just slotted himself into P2 in the Williams with 1 minute 21.657 on the C3 tyre. 14 laps so far completed. Sainz is leading the mileage on 21 laps, just ahead of Ricciardo on 20. Then we've got Ocon on 18, Gasly 16, and then we have Schumacher on 14. So a much better start to Haas's morning, it has to be said. They only completed 43 laps yesterday. And, I have my Slack notifications have started belling me again. Gonna just turn that off. I should probably just do that forever, but YOLO, it's fine. Oh, we've got a picture of the Ferrari, so I'm going to stop everything that I'm talking about and put that up on screen. Boom.
I was about to say.
There it is. Carlos Sainz, 55 on the C3 tyre, as you can see. And, just the medium tyre looks unbelievable on that car. It just fits in so beautifully. I'm getting emotional. The rear wing's not got a sponsor on it, though. You can tell that's a new part.
Oh, well, they don't actually have one on anyway.
Oh, do they not?
No, it's
not at all.
Because of
is it on the back? Is it? Oh, it's actually
they've got one on the back.
Yeah, but not.
But I wonder. It does show that Ferrari have lost their mission winnow, if you like, because that was obviously the big thing with Ferrari since Mission Winnow, who are Marlboro cigarettes. They actually paid. They pay Ferrari they used to. They're gone now, but they paid Ferrari a huge sum of money, and they would own the livery and rent that, like, give sponsor space to other people. So they would determine it. So the fact that they have gone, and now, in my opinion, Ferrari have
stepped up
created the most beautiful livery in ages, and gone back to a really nice Ferrari red. Beautiful. Well done.
Gorgeous.
Grazie, Ferrari.
Absolutely
Awful.
Gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Keeping an eye and seeing what else is being said currently. We got anything? Got an editorial? No. Yeah, over 12,000 of you watching at the moment, so great to have you once again. We will be doing both a morning and afternoon session live stream. In the morning, it'll be myself and Tommy, and then Katie will be joining me for this afternoon. So lots more to come. We've got 7 hours and 49 oh no, not 7, sorry, 6 hours and 49 minutes remaining of pre-season testing day 2. We will be doing a roundup video as we did yesterday for today, so be sure to check that out if you wanted to know what happened in day 1, the main storylines. That is on our YouTube channel right now. So the big news right now, Williams up to P2 with Alex Albon, who is on... Oh, is that the C? I mean, it's been put down as the C3 tyre, but that looks very much like a red with no outer wall, which looks like a C5.
Is that an old
right?
picture?
It might be. It might be. That's a good shout. It might be an old picture. But
yeah, they were... so Williams were probably like... maybe not the most impressive team, but I think in terms of how much Alfa Romeo struggled and Haas, I think you've got to give props to Williams for the amount of mileage they did yesterday. Yeah. Very impressive stuff from Williams.
Yes, the mileage they did yesterday, they had 66 laps with Alex Albon and 66 laps with Nicholas Latifi. So in total, 132 laps for Williams, which is huge mileage. Obviously didn't set the timing screens alight, but that didn't matter in day 1 of testing. 132 laps though, that is a solid amount, and great data to learn and improve on for today. So yeah, the two teams, as we've mentioned, Alfa Romeo and Haas, are the ones that really need to put in some mileage today. And as of right now, Alfa Romeo and Bottas have put 5 laps on the board, and Haas have put 14. So maybe still a few teething issues for Alfa Romeo. You'd imagine they would have wanted to pump in a few more laps straight from the get-go after yesterday's disappointment.
Another game of Guess the Car.
Another game of Guess the Car. We need like a jingle for it, Tommy. You have to create one.
Yeah.
Game show vibes. Absolute game show vibes. Matt
like
can
race
math.
rundown.
Yes, I can. I can do addition. Oh my God. Let's see what people are saying in the chat whilst you're sorting that out. Albono, says Charles. News on Checo, says Martin. Well, currently, Perez has done no time and 4 laps. So I'd imagine... let me ask about Mercedes.
I wonder why Red Bull aren't out there just...
And Red Bull aren't running at the moment as far as we know. Because you'd imagine, as I mentioned, Hamilton would have wanted to get out there a little bit more, maybe. But right, let's play another game of Guess the Car from testing.
Is that a question to those on the ground?
It is. I have gone and sent my carrier pigeon to those on the ground in Barcelona. Right, that car is... I don't know. I'm going to have to work that out. Oh, God. That's so difficult. I don't like this game anymore. It was fun when I could see logos.
Yeah, exactly.
See, like, I feel like
it really does show how I just see cars as... I think this game is for like... It separates who sees the livery on cars and who sees the car shape. Like the
Do you see the car shape?
No,
I think I know.
Absolute livery nerd, of course I do.
I was going to say, I think I know who it is.
Interesting. What's the chat?
Chat, a lot of people saying Williams. I don't think it's Williams.
Williams have had like when we did Williams earlier, people got it because it was more is that bulbous nose, wasn't it?
I think it's Alfa Romeo.
You are incorrect.
Oh, God damn it! Alpine.
Maybe. Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, right. Second go. It's fine. We won. It's fine. Right, Tommy. Get one more guess the car up, and then I need to go to the toilet. So if you can,
Oh yeah, so I'll do that, and then
or
you
just
can,
another, or just another image. It's up to you. Whatever you want to talk about. Feel free.
I'll get the guess the car. Let's got another good one.
So the race have actually just touched upon the fact that only 3 laps have been still completed by Hamilton after 75 minutes of the session gone, which is the least of anybody so far. But of course, Perez has 4 laps and no time. Bottas has 5. So everybody else is in double figures, as you can see on screen. Not ideal for Hamilton and for Mercedes. Right, do we have a picture, Tommy?
Hang about. Just
Sorry,
need
mate.
to get it.
I'm eager.
You're eager.
I'm
You're
eager.
The toilet.
Yeah, I do need the toilet, actually.
I tell you what, so it's quite funny that the sunset pictures, one team, this is a bit of a spoiler alert to who it isn't, and that is McLaren, because the car is so bright that you can see it anyway, even when you get these like dark shots where it's just almost looks like a silhouette.
Yeah.
You can almost still see. I'm just gonna. Sorry, this is gonna take a little bit of. How desperate are you for the toilet?
Quite desperate.
Okay. Why don't you just go to the toilet?
Okay, let me put a different image up for everybody that we've already had. Maybe, the Ferrari. Absolutely. Right, I shall return
course it is. Why
in
did
a
you
moment.
even
BRB.
say that?
Enjoy Tommy talking to you for 2 minutes.
Okay, excellent. Right, I'm going to look at the times. Have we got an answer from the race yet in terms of any reason why? No, we don't have an answer yet of why Red Bull and Mercedes haven't done too many laps yet. So if anyone wants to know the full, we've got the timing up now, but if anyone's can't see the screen for whatever reason and just listening to us like a podcast, Science is leading 21 laps on the C3. Then we've got Albon, 19 laps, Ricciardo, 21 laps, Stroll, 15 laps, Ocon, 23 laps, Schumacher, 14, Gasly, 16, Hamilton, 3, Bottas, 3, and Perez, 4. So very surprising that Mercedes and Red Bull aren't doing many laps at the moment. And Gasly's kind of dropped off with the laps a little bit. So who do people think? Our poll question is, will Verstappen's 147 lap count be beaten today? And so far, it is Esteban Ocon leading that, who I predicted, just saying. Who do we all think will do the most laps today? A team, not necessarily driver, because obviously the drivers on their own will do the most laps. But let us know in the chat who you think. I think we've now had an answer. Okay, we've got our people down on the ground. Scott is going down to Mercedes to see if he can get any info. I feel like we've got our own pit reporters that we can... And Perez has just headed out. There you go. So Perez is fine. Show Frank. Frank is here. He sat on my lap. I had to distract him from seeing a cat earlier. So Frank, yawn if it's already done it. Too late. Never mind. Don't lick the microphone, you weirdo. A lot of people think Williams going to do the most laps. Williams have been very impressive. I'm very impressed with Williams that they've. Hello.
Okay.
Our guys down on the ground.
Down on the ground. What are they telling us?
Perez has headed out, and Scott is going down to Mercedes for us to have a look.
Give us some info. See, that's the kind of information, guys, that firstly you need to leave a like on this video for, because we are giving you these second by second updates from people on the ground that we're speaking to from the race. but also, you should subscribe because we're trying to hit 1 million subscribers. Please help us. And we will keep you updated as to what we hear about what is going on at Mercedes. Scott Mitchell heading down there as we speak. What content, eh? Aren't we just trying our very best with no coverage? Right.
I think this is the most... I think this sums up WTF1 very well, that where we're playing Guess the Car and other such silly games and photoshopping AlphaTauri mustaches onto Nigel Mansell. I think this is definitely, I'm feeling almost professional to be like, oh, we'll just get our reporter down there to have a look.
This is just the beginning, Tommy. Everybody was spamming F1 yesterday to give them give us the broadcasting rights. Yeah. So it might well be happening. WTF1 TV soon come. Yeah. Right, what else are we seeing out there? Alfa Romeo have done a little tweet saying day 2 and go. That's not a huge amount of information or news. Ocon is now the mileage leader. 24 laps on the board in that Alpine.
So I predicted.
Mine's still 16 for Gasly. Come on. I mean, I've clearly jinxed AlphaTauri, and their cars just exploded the second I said that the mileage was going to be, or the mileage winner was going to be him. Update on Red Bull, please. Perez is out on track, Avishek. So he is circulating the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, which is good news for Red Bull fans. 6 laps on the board for Perez.
Speaking of Red Bull.
Yeah, speaking of Red Bull, what we got?
I'm going to send you a photo because Luke from the race has sent us a nice picture, which looks so minimal, but it just shows how many little things
can just be adjusted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've got the Red Bull mirrors. Let me just put
they've adjusted these mirrors ever so slightly, but it can impact. You might be thinking, like, how does that change anything? But it's all about the airflow through the car, and perhaps they've seen on the data from day 1 that the wing mirror is affecting the airflow a bit too much, or it's causing a little bit too much drag. The way in which they can redirect the airflow is a little bit better with the way that they just tweak the housing of this Red Bull mirror. So it'd be interesting to just take a look at these small tweaks that Formula One teams make, which could gain them 0.003 of a second, but then that 0.003 of a second might be the difference between pole and P2. So that's the wishful thinking anyway for Formula One in 2022, is that everybody's going to be separated by 0.1 of a second. That's the dream.
Yeah.
Perez seems to have put on a time on the board as he's moved himself up to P7. He has indeed, a 25.860. So that is Red Bull's first time of the day. Goes ahead of Hamilton and the Mercedes, washed. There you go, Red Bull and Mercedes down in P7 and P8. If this is a sign of things to come, imagine the scenes. Haas ahead of both of them. Tommy having a little cough. Thank you, Tommy, for the image.
I was actually crying.
Oh, you cried.
Red Bull.
This image is called so thank you for that. And there you go. So, can you notice the small tweak that Red Bull have made on the angle there?
Spot the difference. It's a new game.
Red Bull edition. But yeah, just a slight angle change there.
Yeah.
Maybe they just couldn't see out of it. Not that they probably use their mirrors very often anyway.
No, I mean, the piece that they've added onto it, I imagine, it's just the tiniest little bit of extra airflow. So if you look at the one on the left, you've got the pure carbon fiber bit on the right. This is the actual wing mirror, so the bit underneath that sort of yellow circle that you see. And then, the fact that they've then stuck another part on and it looks like it's sculpted even more. So they're just, even just the wing mirrors need nice curves and lines to flow the air around the car. And like you say, that it sounds like you're kind of like, well, why would they even put effort into that? But I mean, look how close the championship was last year, and we saw people missing out on pole by like 0.001 of a second or whatever. So it all makes the difference. Someone
just put in the chat, and this is the beauty of Formula One. It's like, well, that's like a 2 millimeter change. Well, yes, That's the whole point of talking about what is like
Yeah.
changing something like that. You think that that's useless, but then they might put 1 or 2 turns on the front wing, which might be very, very minuscule in terms of the change of the angle, but it's still changing the angle and therefore the way in which the car behaves. So these small changes are exactly what teams are trying to do in order to refine the setup of the car. Like, the setup of the car does also include the angle of the rear of the mirrors. Everything on the car that can be changed is part of the setup of the car. So it's fascinating. It really is. Any updates on Ricardo?
I just put that photo on Twitter of like we're playing Guess the Car, and someone put maybe pick a photo which doesn't have Red Bull clearly displayed. It's like, oh well, have I got news for you? There's also a Shell logo and a BWT logo photoshopped onto it. It's not any of those cars.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. You're wondering about Ricardo. I mean, right now, 21 laps on the board, 22.575, P3 in the timings. So a solid morning's work so far for Danny Rick and McLaren. Gary Anderson has answered a question over on the race live text update, which is available in the description. There's a question. The cars are much more different, especially the side pods. I guess that at least the big teams have evaluated all kinds of designs before choosing what they have gone with. But has there been any, can you do that? Or is that legal? Reactions from teams. So Gary Anderson says, I haven't heard too many moans and groans about other designs yet. That's probably laying in wait for the Bahrain race weekend when everyone will have their real race package. When we have spoken with the FIA, they have said that they have not seen anything that has surprised them. But once again, would they tell us if they had? Very good question.
Very true.
End, by Gary Anderson there. So, yeah, interesting. But we haven't heard the complaints that we may have heard, for example, when Racing Point turned up with a Mercedes copycat and stuff like that. There hasn't been any big outrage from what anybody's heard in the paddock.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, if these teams, do start complaining about their rivals. Part of the drama of F1, isn't it?
It is indeed. We do love the controversy, the arguments, and I guess from that, Drive to Survive, which is coming out. I cannot wait. I had a dream about it last night, actually. That I just sat down and started watching Drive to Survive, and I think I skipped just straight to episode 10, which that's the point when I knew that it was a dream, because I would never do that. How could I? I have to go through it from episode 1. I can't.
It would be really tempting to.
Yeah, really tempting, but also you need the backstory, because I can't quite remember what happened in the 2021 season.
We need to relive Nicholas Latifi's P17 from Imola,
or you got for example, Mick Schumacher gets a great start from 19th and stuff like that.
I did watch
focus on Haas.
Yeah, I watched Drive to Survive season 1 again, and it was interesting looking back at that season, and it was funny that they were obviously hyping it as like the closest season ever. Red Bull and Ferrari going to be amazing, and then Mercedes like pretty much walked it in the end. But there was lots of amusing storylines, which looking back on now is quite funny.
Absolutely. Drive to Survive. Are we a fan of Drive to Survive, chat? Is it something you enjoy watching? For me, absolutely. I know that there are some inaccuracies with it, but I think we're incredibly lucky as a fan base to get such a show like this, where we see the behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't see from TV, and that's what I watch for, is those Easter eggs, those little nuggets of information that we haven't seen before. So I'm a big fan. Tommy, you're a fan?
I am, and I do, bantering aside about how they will obviously focus on like Nicholas Latifi or whatever, blah, blah, blah. For me, Drive to Survive is good because it's not a season review. And I know a lot of people like get outraged where they're like, oh my word, I can't believe they didn't mention Lance Stroll getting pole in blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if they weren't there filming that, like you can watch that on YouTube. You can go and watch his pole lap on YouTube. But what we don't see in Formula One is, I don't know, behind the scenes of the whole drama with, like you say, the pink Mercedes and Racing Point copying Mercedes and all that, which we didn't get to see on our screens. So the whole point is it's like the storytelling of behind the scenes and stuff. I don't want it just to be a season review, because I can watch the highlights of every race on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And like the fake
But
drama that people
the fake drama
that
to a
people complain
point
about is like fine, whatever. Like you just accept it for what it is. Like the fake drama stuff isn't really for us. It's to grab new audiences. I know sometimes they do go over the top, and I don't
do over the top.
I don't agree with like
Lando and Carlos one was
rivalry
silly.
was a bit silly and inaccurate. That's where it's a bit annoying, but at the same time, I don't mind the drama that's hyped up for things that actually are real, and I don't watch it for that anyway. I will watch it because it is an enjoyable watch no matter what. And sometimes it's funny to see the inaccuracies. I find it quite amusing. When you hear Sebastian Vettel's blooming team radio being played in a completely just random part of a race, and it's not
my favorite. My favorite one was Ocon, when they obviously focused on the drama of Abu Dhabi and how Renault wanted to finish ahead of someone in the constructors. Who would it have been? Haas? Or I'm trying to remember which team it was. Renault, who they were fighting for, McLaren maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, they obviously beat whoever they were battling in the constructors title for, and Ocon finished 7th or something to get them enough points to do it. But they cut to him in Bahrain where he finished P2. So obviously he's like fist pumping and celebrating and stuff. And it's like so clearly an on board of Bahrain, like the whole circuit's changed. But these are the kind of thing that we notice, but like it's a way for them to tell the story to newer fans. And, there's been so many of my mates that do not care about F1 that have watched that show and now watch Formula One and are interested in it, and that's great because I like talking about F1 to people.
Well, that's proof from yesterday after 8
from
hours
8 hours of streaming.
Worth mentioning, Lewis Hamilton is out on track, 9 laps into a stint now. 25.082 is his fastest lap time, down in 8th. Perez is continuing to improve out there. He's now just moved himself up to P6 with a 23.417 on the C2 tyre. He's done 12 laps now. So the big question marks again are with Alfa Romeo, and 5 laps on the board at the moment for Valtteri Bottas. The only other driver in single digits is Lewis Hamilton. Gasly has just improved to P4 on the C3 tyre, and apparently had a big old toe from Mick Schumacher down the straight. And hopefully he then found out how easy it is to follow cars as well into turn 1. We don't know. Did we hear much, Tommy?
Yeah, I thought that.
I don't think we heard very much about cars being able to follow.
Yeah, I've not heard anyone that's spoken about it, because I thought that would be one of the things from the first day that anyone driving behind another car, we'd get to hear what they thought. But I've not heard too much from it yet.
Nope. But I imagine there's not been a huge amount of it, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing their own thing at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's difficult to tell, obviously, as well, when, you might have, for example, Gasly going around with 1 minute 27.6s and then Albon doing 21.6s. They're completely different run plans. And, even then, they're not pushing to the level of which they may be able to fully judge how much it affects their downforce. So I'm just holding out hope that they'll just eventually go, wow, this is incredible. It's like Formula 2. It's going to be like that all year. Everyone's going to be side by side. It's going to be incredible. But we will wait to see. Is there any more questions that have been asked? Is there any questions that you guys would like us to ask the guys at the race who are on the ground in Barcelona? Let me change to the McLaren. That is a cool shot, despite the delivery. That angle, Tommy, are we a fan? Does the McLaren look any better to you at that angle or not?
It's all right. I prefer it from the front, to be honest. It's the side angle I don't like, of how the kind of lines don't match the car properly, because they've tried to make it look like the Extreme E car. And an Extreme E car is a very different shape to a Formula One car.
It's very true.
So when you try and add sort of shapes on there, it works beautifully for their Extreme E car and looks kind of cool. But Formula One cars. For me, it makes it. I'm very anti Formula One cars being as big as they are. Like they're really long. Like if you look at a Schumi Ferrari from like 2004 or something, they're quite nimble, and I think a lot of people have done comparisons, haven't they, where you've actually seen like the wheelbase and a kind of even just the 2000s cars against a new car, they look like stretch limos, the new cars, because they're so long. Yeah, they don't need to look any longer with a paint scheme. So that's kind of why I don't like the McLaren as much.
Fair. That's a fair shout. I've actually
What
just
I
seen the thumbnail, actually, which is we used the Williams Flovis pitch.
Yeah,
That's
looks
quite
like
cool.
it's been thrown up on.
That is
quite
very cool.
the image. I don't think I've ever seen that much Flovis on a car.
No, it's insane, isn't it? We will do a video about questions of what is Flovis, what are the aero rakes, etc. Probably in the downtime after testing, before the next test, where I'm sure we'll see a lot more of that aero rake as well. So,
what I was wrong about is the Mercedes. It looks blooming fantastic, and I do think it looks great.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, I can work with that. Right, let's see.
Sending you a picture of it actually
happening at the moment. So Carlos Sainz has actually improved out in front to a 1 minute 20.890, 26 laps on the board for the Ferrari driver.
Legendary. Luke from the race has just sent over a comparison of Ocon. They've done a wonderful Photoshop scaled with a 2020 car when Alonso.
Why don't we stick it up? And just
I'm doing it. I'm sending it now.
No, but I'm just
talk first.
They can't,
talk after.
They can't see it. So.
Sorry, yeah.
You're just like, I can see this amazing thing that you can't see. So we'll get that up to you very shortly. I'll run you through what's going on track. So Ocon is still the mileage leader on 27 laps, but we've got some close runners behind that. Ferrari and Sainz 26 laps, Albon 25 laps. So quite a lot of mileage being put in by the. Some of the teams. Ocon's now actually gone up to 28 laps. Danny Rick's in the 20s on 22, as is Gasly, who is in P2 now with a 1 minute 21.466. So Gasly P2 now on those C3 tyres. Still waiting for Bottas to come up the pits. Hamilton's done 12 laps now. Perez 17. So question marks again for the Alfa Romeo team, because a 1 minute 39.293 is not going to give them any sort of real representative data if they're trundling around 20 seconds off the pace. So big questions for that camo livery car, you'd say, Tommy.
Yes. They want to be. It's probably a good job it is hidden, the way they're going at the moment.
To be fair, we may not just see it out on track, and they've done 50 laps this morning already.
Yeah, maybe it's just missed by the timers.
I promised this one SEC Racing YouTube person that's just commented, it's not my burner account. It says 12K watching and only 3K likes. Hit that button, peeps. Thank you, SEC Racing. Hit that like button if you are
doing the job for us.
The good old waffle. And we've got lots more waffle coming for you all the way up until 12 o'clock, so 2.5 hours, just under. We are continuing on this morning. Keeping you guys very much up to date with what's going on. Ryan Tapella says, hey, or hi, I'm late. What have I missed? Well, you've missed Carlos Sainz and Ferrari. Very much at the top of the timesheets once again on a 1 minute 20.890. Not a huge amount's gone on. Nobody's broken down on track. Bottas and Alfa Romeo definitely struggling at the moment. Everybody else seems to be racking up some laps. Hamilton and Mercedes were a little bit slow to get out the pits, but they have since come out, and they are circulating Barcelona. And apparently, we did actually hear that Alfa Romeo have flown in new parts overnight to try and sort out their severe porpoising problem, which is that bouncing that we spoke about, where the car's not settled on the track. And, if the contact patch isn't consistent for an F1 car, you just lose a huge amount of grip. So there may be just a delay for the Alfa Romeo to go out because they haven't had their parts fitted properly yet. But we will see. We'll keep you up to date. 5 laps for Bottas, as I say. And at the moment, the mileage leader still Esteban Ocon on 28 laps. Tommy, what have you got for me?
I've sent you a picture that
yeah, you can explain
Lucas
it now.
sent me.
Here we go.
Is it up? The Renaults?
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is obviously at the end of, we knew that Fernando did that demo run at the end of 2020. Was that really 2020? The end of, where he was in the R.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Wow, that doesn't feel that long ago.
No.
That has flown by. Alonso obviously did a lap. It looks very strange to see the Pirellis on an old school car, but he did a demo lap in the R25. And Luke from the race has done this Photoshop where you can compare. Just look how much bigger that new car is. That's obviously a 2020 Renault, but they are a similar size now. They're heavier as well, which I'm sure you've seen from the WTF1
Up 43 kilograms from last year.
But yeah, you can see that just how much bigger these cars are getting. Like the Renault it was the R25, I believe. Yeah, 2005 one. It's tiny, isn't it? It's so nimble. It's like almost like a toy car, but I like that. I think they need to be smaller, but obviously there's the hybrid engines are massive, and obviously, of course, you can't refuel, so you have to have a big old fuel tank. So yeah, that's kind of why they've got bigger, I believe.
There you go.
But
Nice
they're
comparison.
absolutely massive.
Thank you to Luke for that. We'll now go back to a shot of this year, and there's the McLaren once again. If you've got any more pictures, Tommy, feel free to fire them my way from XPB.
Sent you Mercedes. Before the McLaren, there was another Guess the Car.
Yes, I have
called it
that.
A.PNG.
I will get the Mercedes up first.
Yeah,
I'll show that because that is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning car in that lighting.
Love it, actually. Fair play. I was wrong.
Tommy has accepted.
I can
Wait,
change.
what?
Your,
No.
Sorry, you're not allowed to change your opinion. Yeah, you're not allowed to change it.
If you say an opinion online, you're not allowed to change your opinion. Sorry, mate.
Sorry.
It's over. Yeah. It's over. I'm sorry, mate. So that is a very good looking car. It has to be said. Do we agree? Welcome, Disc. Just woke up and joined. Smiley face. Great to have you. Garrett Trutman says, your YouTube channel was a big inspiration for me. I've been thinking of starting a similar channel for the Michelin Challenge Cup with my brother. Keep up the great work as always. Well, good luck, Garrett, if you do decide to do that. And thank you for the kind words about the channel. What do they mean when they say the tyres have brackets? Well, Sahil, the brackets is the sidewall of the tyre where you can see the small sort of, the bracket type line, and that's to differentiate between the softest of compound and the slightly softer, so between the C5 and the C4, and then the C1 and the C2, so the hards as well. So the C2 and the C4 both have brackets, and the C1 and the C5 tyres don't have brackets, so they'll just have the red Pirelli logo but no brackets around it. That's essentially how to differentiate between the tyres, if you see any pictures. So as I said, and the race have just updated on their live text, which you can see in the link in the description if you want to go and check that out for yourself. But as I say, we are very much reading out everything that they put out on there. Sainz, 1 minute 20.890, fastest of anybody. Ocon, 31 laps now in that Alpine. My pick for Gasly, 25 laps, so not too far behind. You're currently winning though, Tommy. Congratulations. Will it continue that way? We'll find out.
We shall. This is what everyone's tuned in for, to see who will get the most laps.
Oh, actually, worth mentioning, Bottas and Alfa Romeo out on track now, and they have just popped in a 23.159, so much better. 7 laps for Bottas at the moment, and he is out on track. So that is good news for Alfa Romeo and Bottas fans, because they only completed, let me check, they only completed 23 plus 9, 32 laps yesterday, which is quite poor considering Max Verstappen did on his own 147. So, yeah, there you go. Glad you guys are back, says Joska. It's great to be back, and thank you for coming and joining us for another day of F1 testing. I'm so impressed by the Williams, says Kamakshi. The boys getting us through an otherwise boring day. Thanks, WTF1. You are most welcome, Mohid. Thank you for tuning in. Send us your tweets as well, either to WTF1 official or Matty WTF1 or Tommy WTF1, and let us know where you're watching from, because that's what I do like to see, is that some people have us on like a massive screen at home, with a cup of tea, and other people were sending us on a small screen or whatever, or a monitor in a warehouse somewhere because they're at work. I do like to see that sort of stuff, and
yeah, it's cool.
We'll retweet a few as well, and share the love to some of the best ones that we see. So feel free to send it to Tommy WTF1, Matty WTF1, or
I've
WTF1
already
official.
seen one.
Already? Wow.
Supposed to be studying for my design exam, but WTF1 is more entertaining. Retweet.
I would
there
hope
you
so.
go.
I would absolutely hope so. That is.
I'm a big fan of. I've put that. Guess the car, the one that was the Mercedes, where I photoshopped the Red Bull and the shell on it, and it's just so funny hearing all the people that go, there's a clear Red Bull logo. You're so stupid, WTF1. It's like, well done, you got the bait.
You got baited, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna play. Guess the car. Okay, this is the next round of Guess the Car, everybody. Get in chat right now and, Jesus, try and guess what that car is. It's got aero rake on it, so I'm just going to think about... Okay, I think I've got it. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? It's a 1 in 10 chance.
Now, yeah?
It is on screen right now. So chat, guess
Lovely.
what you think that car is. And the Anna Cox has just messaged showing, again, working today from the office, but has got us on his laptop. I've actually got that exact laptop. That was one of my old laptops. That's amazing. So big shout out to you. Doing some coding, it looks like, so that's very exciting. Watching on your tablet, says Mima Veggie 1. WTF1 Sergio Perez editions. I've just been to, wow, that is the widest of monitors I've ever seen. That's incredible. Yes, so I don't even know what I was trying to say. Yeah, we were guessing that there's a lot of spamming.
My word, I've just seen that monitor, yeah. Sorry we're not available in wide angle.
Yeah, I know. Damn. I thought my monitor was wide. Shout out to Ben Q for my monitor and to yours as well, Tommy. A big shout out to Ben Q as our
official
monitor partner. Yeah, they're great, especially for
we're so
simulation.
Professional these days, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got partners for everything. We're big. Okay, as for that car, I am going to guess and say it is. Oh God! Those intakes. Can see an intake there. I am gonna go with Aston Martin.
It is not.
Damn it! God damn it! I'm going to go with Haas.
It is not.
God, okay, I give up.
It's the Ferrari.
What?
I know. They chopped the shell logo out of it.
I hate you because
I'm devious.
What you've done as well is you've kind of blacked out where the nose goes down, where it's quite obvious it's a Ferrari. You're an absolute disgrace. I hate you. Right, anyway, hope you enjoyed that game. I hate that game. What a terrible game that was. Let's go back to the Mercedes because that's beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. Is that a 10 out of 10, chat, from that angle? Let me know your out of 10 right now.
The cars look... I think that... I can't remember many cars that look better in F1 history than when you see them from that front 3/4 angle, and that because they're so like streamlined now, and the noses are like so nice, and they look kind of dart-like, and the Mercedes especially. I don't know what it is about the Mercedes car shape. It looks like an arrow. I know it's a silver arrow. Maybe that was deliberate. I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it's lots of technical stuff and didn't go, silver arrow, we should make it look like an arrow. But, oh my word, look at the... let me send you this.
What are you showing me? What are you sending me? Minus 10? 10 out of 10? Wow, that is polar opposites when it comes to the Mercedes livery. I think the silver needs to be more sparkly, says Charlotte. You can see the side pod. Yeah, that's a good shout. I may have not looked at the side pod and I was too busy focusing on the nose. I am a fake fanboy, as someone just said in the chat. So fair enough. You did that. You baited me there, Tommy. You did it.
I did. I
You
should have
wanted
put a
me to get
Red
it
Bull
wrong.
logo on it to again to.
No, I'm not falling for that ever again. Don't you worry. Right, back to what's going on in testing. So right now, Sainz is the fastest on a 20.890. Then we've got Gasly, 21.466. Albon, 21.657. Ricciardo, 21.923. Stroll, 22.620. He's put himself up into P5 in the Aston Martin. Then you've got Bottas, has improved again with a 1 minute 22.858. Then we've got Ocon, 23.280. Perez, 23.320. Schumacher, 23.499. And Lewis Hamilton last in the day 2 times right now with a 25.082 and only 12 laps on the board, the same as Alfa Romeo at this point. That is not the best, not ideal, considering Sainz and Ferrari are now the mileage leaders with 33 laps. So they've done 21 more than Hamilton already in the first hour and 50 of testing.
Yeah, not surprising, I guess. It's hard to know with Mercedes, isn't it? Because
sandbagging.
There might just be no drama, not even sandbagging. They're probably just working through their own thing. Maybe, they might even know that they can bang on some C5s and go insanely quick, but they're just working through maybe I don't know.
Nah, I'm not
they
having
need
it.
More race pace or whatever.
New regs. 12 laps after an hour and 50. That's not ideal.
That's it. Mercedes over then, basically. What you're saying.
It might even just be Lewis Hamilton over, to be honest, Tommy. Russell beat Hamilton by 27 laps yesterday.
That's a big margin.
Huge win. That's almost half a race distance that Russell was beating Hamilton by. The pace that George Russell's been showing. Sarcasm, everybody. It's a joke. But yeah, 77 laps from George Russell yesterday, 50 for Hamilton. Only 12 today so far, and he is out of the car after this morning's running. So, yeah, worth keeping an eye on. I'm not saying it's Mercedes over party, but it certainly is not ideal. I mean, Red Bull, 18 laps. So they are the three, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull and Mercedes, that are in the under 20 laps so far. So worth keeping an eye on. We still got a couple of hours till the lunchtime break. So we'll keep an eye on that one. A lot of Hamilton is washed comments in the chat. I don't think it's quite there yet, but I think, any team, even if you're a Mercedes or a Red Bull, you need the mileage no matter what. You just do, especially with these new cars.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to be just hammering laps. Hammering.
Wheeze.
Hilarious. Benji's just sent me a meme. Should we play
a meme?
Should we roast him if it's bad?
Let's go a meme. Yeah. Right. So our video editor Benji has just sent us a meme. Where's the meme?
This is what he thinks
the
Ricciardo helmet looks like from earlier in the stream. Yeah, I've sent it to you.
Here we go. Right. So chat, I need you to rate this meme out of 10. So Benji's entire
meme career
dignity is on the line here. Okay. So chat, I want an out of 10 for this meme. It's on track. It's on track. It's not on track. The party rings are on track. No, it's on screen.
It does look
right
a bit. It does look very party ring like. I think it's the colours.
I mean,
I don't see. I still see the more. I still see that it looks more like a golf course.
It's a stretch. I guess the question is, does Benji have a
career in
a career in Tommy's in Tommy's world? Is Tommy under fire with his job? There are a few 10s. There's also a few 0s. There's a few oh no, some not bad. Definite keck, whatever that. I think that's a long.
Didn't ask ratio.
Brother, sorry, 2 out of 10. I think some people have enjoyed it, Benji. So someone said trash meme, but that message is held for review. Okay, so I feel like it's a Marmite kind of meme. Benji, so unfortunately,
a bit like the McLaren livery on the a bit like Ricciardo's helmet, so fitting.
So yeah, there you go. I think we definitely should play memes. So maybe there are some more memes we can play throughout the day. We are WTF1 after all. Let's. Oh no, we don't want to show that. That's something not even from today. That's a McLaren. Let's go with.
Did you update the
boom
Perez
like
picture?
Image. Sorry.
I sent you the Perez picture where he's got a lot of rake.
You have not sent me that picture, darling.
No, I haven't. I sent it to myself.
Name a more iconic duo than you sending it to yourself.
I know, it's because like I make the stuff on my laptop, and obviously when I'm in F1, Benji's already put not to be shared on stream, so I can be embarrassed. I was like, too late.
I love that. Sorry, Benji.
He's never going to send a meme to me ever again.
Yeah, he's now scarred.
Yes, I'm so used to like when we're doing Formula One races and sessions and stuff. Obviously, I'm making stuff on my laptop during the race, and I'll send it to myself to save on my phone and publish on Instagram and Twitter before I get cancelled for having the same idea as someone else.
Oh yeah,
and
cancelled.
I will post it from that. So it's almost like a habit that when I just make something, I just send it. So there we go. I've actually sent it to you now. But a lot of
I've stuck it up on the screen. It is
there's a lot of aero rake on that car.
It's amazing how high it goes as well to try and monitor the airflow. Like that is quite a high old air rake. That, of course, Perez in the Red Bull car today. Let's reflect on what we're seeing out on track. So Bottas has now racked up 12 laps, as I've mentioned, 22.858, his fastest lap. Still the lowest mileage of anybody. Hamilton has now thrust himself into the top 5. A 1 minute 22.562. 16 laps on the board for that Mercedes car, so a little bit better. And I'm sure he's hoping to do quite a few laps between now and 12, which is 2 hours away. So 34 laps for Sainz out at the top. Ricciardo also on 34 laps. Ocon 31. Gasly 29. Albon 20. Stroll 27. Oh, Schumacher's done 29 as well, actually. Very quiet down there in P10 is Mick Schumacher, but that's a lot more laps for Haas on the board, which is much, much better for them after a poor day yesterday. 43 in total for the whole day yesterday. So Mick Schumacher may even beat that in the morning session alone, which is good news for him. What memes are you making, Tommy? I feel like you're
No,
you're
I was
mid-meme.
laughing because someone put in the chat, "No, Benji, no, that was so not right," and Katie just sent it. It was in our group chat.
Benji is. I'm going private on all socials now. Says Benji. Lol, that is good banter. Benji washed. I think that's the fair shout. So, what else are we seeing? I'm going to ask who is out on track. Actually, right now, about 12 minutes ago, it said it was fairly busy on track. Got 5 cars out there at the moment, but has been as many as 8 at once in the last 20 minutes. Bit of a mix of programs, but Ricciardo and Bottas keep going for improvements at the moment. Anything else of note? Okay, so I've asked some questions, see if we can get any more insight about what's currently going, because there's been a decent amount of mileage for some of these teams so far today. And Hamilton, 22.562. P5, Ricciardo 21.923, Albon 21.657, Gasly 21.466, and Ferrari Hype Train Carlos Sainz with a 20.890.
Choo.
Katie's in the chat. Hello, Katie. Can't wait to join you all on the stream later. I hope Katie is going to be bringing all of the rants, all of the aerodynamic learnings that she's had, away from the stream. And we need as much info as possible for someone that isn't constantly talking, which is both me and Tommy. But we will see. So to recap yesterday, Max Verstappen did the most lap times on 147. The overall most amount of laps, did that go to
Ferrari,
yeah, 80 and 73. So 153 laps for Ferrari yesterday, which is incredibly solid, it has to be said.
And Alfa Romeo did 32 combined.
32. I'm just about to get my information from Jack at the race. Ricciardo's been on a decent stint on the harder C2 tyre that's not long come to an end. And Hamilton's just done a faster time, a 1 minute 22.562. That's moved him up to 5th. Only 2 cars on track at the moment, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll. Good for Pierre Gasly because that's my bet for the most mileage today. So come on, the Pierre Gasly. Let's get those laps in and beat Esteban Ocon. That was Tommy's prediction.
This is the real fight on track. It's
all about the mileage. It's not about the timings, unless Ferrari top the timesheets, in which case we can talk about timings, can't we? So this is so dead, bruv, says Rudra. Well, what did you expect? We are here giving you as much information as we possibly can. We've got the race.
How dare we?
We've got the race, the race colleagues over in Barcelona giving us as much information as possible. We are getting pictures even from XPB who are in Barcelona taking pictures. Tommy, I think we need to ramp up the pictures. So if we can,
what does everyone want to see?
Just anything. Just give us pictures of the
anything.
cars. Anything that they've uploaded recently. We need to fly in with some more pictures to keep everybody entertained.
Dokey.
So there we go. Tommy's going to get on that, give you some more pictures of cars out on track. What would you like to see? Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see as well.
You're going to say comment section below, then it just rolls off the tongue for you.
In the chat. Let us know in the live chat. Someone wants to see another motorhome. Someone wants to see Checo. What else have we got? Aston Martin. A couple of Aston Martin. Whatever you see, Tommy, that looks nice. Maybe an Aston Martin.
Okay.
Maybe an Alpine. Maybe a Williams. Lots of different teams being thrown in, to be fair. So I think anyone will be happy with most things.
I'll just throw some new images over to you now.
Thank you very much, Tommy. So we will ramp up the picture slideshow for you guys and keep them coming. We'll make Tommy work very hard with his Photoshop.
What's everyone? I'm not photoshopping
or your placing of images.
Yeah, true.
There's a Williams. Boom.
What's everyone's favourite car on track?
That looks very nice. What's everyone's favourite car? It's Ferrari, isn't it? Come on, Jesus.
Now we've seen him on track.
Ferrari. It's got to
Still
be.
Ferrari?
It's got to be. I mean, whatever. Just let's alternate between teams. I think it's good to maybe get one of each if we possibly can.
I was just asking the question to the chat. I'm still
having a chat. That's fine.
Just having a chat. Just a little chin wag.
Little chin. Just having a good old bit of waffle to the chat. I like that. I like that a lot. So we've actually got a.
It's quite funny actually. I sent this to you in our group chat, but when we did our rating the F1 cars, obviously the BWT is Alpine has divided opinion, to say the least.
Yes. And
the first comment we got on that post was the first 2 comments came in and they were, I don't get why people hate the BWT Alpine. I think it looks quite cool. And then the next comment was, BWT Alpine minus 1,000 out of 10.
Oh dear, social media. There's an Aston Martin on screen for you right now. Does look pretty nice. That angle I'm not a massive fan of, so I don't think the green pops as well as it has in other parts of the track.
Looks like it might be another, not as extreme as last year, but where it looked plain black, but still looks like there might be better in other lights situation, because that picture yesterday was absolutely gorgeous. That one with Sebastian Vettel where the light was shining on the side of the car.
It was beautiful. Let me try and find that in the horrendous amounts of file names you've given me. That'll be great.
So I'll find it because otherwise it would say
oh, day one. Yeah,
day two. I've just searched Aston and got the picture again of Martin Whitmarsh staring into our souls.
Oh no, please get rid of that forever. There's the Alpine on screen for you now. That probably the best it's looked so far in an image for me. Maybe because the map-free thing is only half in that picture. But what do we think to the Alpine? Are we still hating on it in terms of the livery, or there are some lovers out there that think it's one of the greatest liveries ever made? I'm not one of them. But let me know what you think of the Alpine. And you can hear Tommy properly working away here to get us those images. It's great work. It really is from Tommy.
There we go. There's the absolutely beauty Aston shot that from yesterday.
This is
that
the gorgeous,
this is
the gorgeous image from
give
yesterday.
a bit of love to
Look at
XPB.
that. Big love to XPB.
Bachelor took that photo apparently.
Bachelor.
Yeah.
What a name.
I guess that's surname. Yeah.
Okay, fair. That is a very good looking picture, isn't it, of the Aston? That is from day one, but I think it needed to come back, definitely, and be shown to the world how good that picture is. So big fan of that. Big fan. Oh, hold on. Pierre Gasly has just taken the mileage lead. Thank you, everybody, for coming. The prediction is coming true if you're on the same hype train as me for the mileage for today. I thought Pierre Gasly, Tommy thought Esteban Ocon, and right now Pierre Gasly 35 laps on the board, but we've got Sainz with 34, Ricciardo with 34, Stroll with 32, Schumacher with 31, and
very close.
Ocon 33 as well. Bottas still only 12 in that Alfa Romeo. Perez hasn't broken into the 20s yet. 19 laps in that Red Bull and down in P9. But yeah, still over the sort of field spread, it's a decent amount of laps so far. We're just over halfway through the morning session. And there's a lot of talk about Mercedes' rippled floor as well, which the race have done a good feature on in their live text update. I think someone's just improved because the thing just changed. Oh, Mick Schumacher up to P5, a 1 minute 22.535. 32 laps on the board. Haas goated. Unbelievable scenes. So finally, Haas showing some promise, which is good for them. Okay, could you grab that thing from Ollie as well, if that's all right? Ollie sent us something in the group chat.
Oh yeah.
We could do a caption competition as well. I've just seen a picture.
Yeah, we'll do them. I sent a house picture as we were talking about.
If you're able to send Glenn the file, he'll be able to make up some more for us as well. If you'd like to have some of the pressure taken off your hands, Tommy, the Mr. Photo Man. Ocon and Schumacher are back out on track, as you would have thought, especially with Schumacher improving, and Gasly and Stroll. So there's 4 out there at the moment, and it was Russell Bachelor who's taken that picture that we're showing at the moment, which is very cool indeed. Let's show the Haas now, considering Mick Schumacher has just improved. Let's take a look at it, and maybe it's just the angle, but no, to be fair, that rear wing, I think if we were to lift the camera shot slightly, would still look like an enormous rear wing. So the spoon,
the scoop,
the spoon scoop, whatever you want to call it, gives
the illusion of it looking bigger, but they're
within the same parameters, aren't they? Dimensions, but they can be deeper, and clearly Haas have gone the deep ways.
Very extreme.
Yeah. And you can see there as well, Schumacher on the C2 tyres. As I was mentioning earlier with the brackets, you can see the white outline known as brackets on the tyres. That's the C2 tyre. Car number 47, Mick Schumacher. Lovely stuff. So right now, 3 drivers. The race for the mileage, by the way, Tommy, is unbelievable.
It's hotting up.
We've got 3 drivers on 35 laps. Ferrari, Sainz, Gasly, AlphaTauri, and Ocon Alpine. You got 34 laps for Daniel Ricciardo and McLaren. You got 33 laps for Mick Schumacher and Haas, and for Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin.
I'm so excited. I need the toilet. So
enjoy the toilet. Thank you for sending me another image. I will continue to entertain. Well, whilst Tommy goes to the toilet, I will do this ad break. It's not an actual ad break. It's just me talking about it. Tommy goes to the toilet, and I'm just going to tell you very quickly about some merch that you can get if you like Formula One merch and you like T-shirts and everything else. Thank you to Ollie for making up this little graphic. You can go to the WTF1 shop, which is WTF1. I don't think we've got a link in the description actually of this video. Let me triple check. It is there. No, it's not actually. That would be good if that was in there. Let me add it to. To be fair, there are links to the shop. You can actually see the some of the items. It says shop the WTF1 store. To be fair, so if you do click on any of those, it should take you straight through to it. Shop.wtf1.com is the link for that. If you want to check out any of the merch, it's all good stuff. I've got so much of it. It's good fun, especially when you go to an F1 race, or actually, to be fair, when you're not in an F1 race and then you just see someone look at you in a way it's like, you're a fellow F1 fan. So feel free to go check that out. I will put it in the description as well very quickly, so that you guys know where you can head if you want to go check out the WTF1 shop. That's the new jingle. So there you go. I've stuck it in the description. Boom. Let me head now back to the comment section and return to our beautiful Haas, I believe. Let's go back to the Haas. So yeah, 15% off at the WTF1 shop, shop.wtf1.com, and you can fill your boots with as much merch, because there is a last chance to buy some of these. We'll be taking them off the store. Tom has replied. No, he's back. That's what returned. That's the that I was after. And we'll return to the Haas for now. Thank you, everybody. Go check out the shop if you so wish. Carrying on. What have we seen in the... has it been... hold on. Tommy, brace your Ferrari cape that's on order. Carlos Sainz has improved a 1 minute 20.546. He was already in the 20s, Tommy. God, are you even listening to me?
No, it's almost like I'm making lots of Photoshop.
20.546 for Carlos Sainz on the C3 tyre. 9/10 clear of Pierre Gasly in P2. So the Ferrari hype train.
Ferrari clear.
I've heard, actually, if you are willing and wanting to join the Ferrari hype train, there are a few stops on the way to Maranello. So you're going to have to board at the next station. We are accepting a few more tickets for you guys if you'd like to. But I am a very understanding conductor. So yeah, Ferrari improve out in front, 35 laps for Carlos Sainz. I imagine those laps are continuing to improve out there. Just to speak about the live timing, it is actually updated manually, so give it a few minutes before potentially it does update, but we keep you as up to date as possible through the race that we have down on the track. So
ground
down on the ground. I wanted to change it. I changed it to track.
No,
39 laps for Sainz, 39 laps for Ocon, bookending the session in first and 10th, but 39 laps for both of them. So, should we do a caption competition? I think we should, whilst we...
Why not?
Let's do it. Right, so, I want your best caption in the chat right now, everybody. Go. What is the caption this picture deserves? I'm sure Tommy has a few.
Which one is it?
It's the Perez.
Oh, the Perez one.
The Perez one. Let us know in the chat what you think this...
That's me. That's me when I realise that we won't get Perez's sassy intro in the F1 intro again, because I love that.
Money equals happiness. We actually covered it twice, my friend, at the beginning and probably about half an hour into the stream. So yes, we have actually touched on Ukraine and how difficult a situation it is there. It is very sad, and my thoughts and condolences go to everybody out there in Ukraine. Worth mentioning, because I know there are 13,000 of you there, and our thoughts do very much go out to anyone suffering through this time. But yes, back to caption competition. What have we seen? Anything? Oh my God, Ferrari is so fast.
That's a good one. Do you reckon, is that a yawn? Is it a yawn, a shock?
I think that's I've zoned out, I'm not listening to you kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I only know that because anytime you talk, Tommy, I don't listen. Actually, no, to be fair, it's probably the other way around. Because whenever you look at your phone or you're looking at anything else.
I reckon it's...
Max is the number one driver, says Jessica Smith.
I reckon Perez has just looked at your tweet about how ugly the Red Bull side pod is, and he's like, we should paint it.
Oh, don't bring that up, for God's sake. You'll rile up the Red Bull fans again.
I am a Red Bull fan,
Yeah, true. To be fair, yeah.
but I can respect people's opinions.
When you know that your sponsors have pulled out and you're being replaced by Kvyat, says Graham. Jeez. Wow, Jesus, Justin's gone in. God, I'm the most overrated driver of all time.
Wow.
Jeez, people are
That's
being
not true.
savage. When you forget a mask, that's COVID related.
Go to a shop.
Yeah, you go into a shop.
Holding your mouth. This is fun.
It's fair. What else have we got?
That Martin Whitmarsh picture is just every time I scroll through and see it, he's just staring into my soul.
When you find out that WTF1 does not stand for what the F,
Yeah.
you have to run 147 laps. Sorry, Checo, we've forgotten to pack the side pods for this week. What do you mean, no tequila? I mean, I'm sure that's probably not before he goes out and drives.
Yeah, probably not.
Don't drink and drive.
Max is how much faster? That's
yeah,
they've got 33 in their name. They're a definite fan.
Yeah, definitely a Max fan. Right,
21.
Moving back to
multi 21 would be multi 111. So it wouldn't work.
Multi 111.
So it wouldn't work because you wouldn't know which way round it was.
Oh yeah, so true.
They're gonna have to change it.
That is so true. Let's get the Alpha Tauri up on screen, shall we? It's a good old-looking car in that picture. Boom.
That mustache looking lovely.
Oh, that angle actually looks quite saucy, in my opinion. I like the red-walled soft tyres as well. That I would upgrade my whatever I called it in my ratings in our ratings video to probably another half a point with that. So congratulations, Alpha Tauri. Still not a fan of the flex box, but at least it kind of now matches the soft tyres.
Yeah, it looks more red, doesn't it?
Yeah, in that
the orange
picture.
from the render. I'll tell you what, it shows in a livery design, like you've got to think about all the angles and also how it looks on track, because some of the renders can just either make or break it, and then you see it in real life and it's like, oh, that's not great. Like the Mercedes and all the lighting and stuff. Like I saw the Mercedes renders, I was like, that looks really cool. Then I saw a picture of the real Mercedes on stream, and I was like, looks a bit meh. And then now we've seen it on track in Barcelona, and I think it looks awesome. So I guess all that really matters at the end of the day is how good it looks on TV.
Absolutely.
When we get when we do actually get some coverage, which will be nice.
Yeah, can't wait for the coverage. Worth mentioning, there is obviously a lot of talk about obviously Russia and Ukraine, but also the Russian Grand Prix for Formula One. And there's been a statement from Formula One that Scott Mitchell has received at the race that Formula One is closely watching the very fluid developments like many others, and at this time has no further comment on the race scheduled for September. We will continue to monitor the situation very closely. Not sure what there really is to monitor.
A statement, not a statement kind of thing.
Just like a very vague statement at this point. And there's also, away from that, Ed Straw has sent a picture from trackside where George Russell is watching on the inside of the track on the approach to turn 1 and just having a look at the cars. So it's quite funny, isn't it? That have you frozen?
Or was I just not moving?
Yeah, you have frozen. Why are you frozen?
Hang on, let me.
Why have you frozen?
Does this help? Is that
no? You haven't actually frozen in Zoom. You've just frozen in Streamlabs. What's going on?
Might have to add me back in.
I'll just hold on. I'll delete it and goodbye, Tommy's face. Let's try it again. Screen, add source, Tommy's face. Are you moving?
Add source.
Still? Oh God! Yeah, but you're still not moving. Why have you stopped?
I'm moving.
Okay. I know you're not. You're just Streamlabs is just like, nah, fam. Tommy's face doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
Interesting. I will work my way around that. Technical issues, not sure why. Because
might need to completely reset it up again.
Add a new source, yeah. Tommy's face 2, I'm going to call it. Tommy, let us know what's going on whilst I sort this out. So keep an eye on the race live text updates and anything else that you see whilst I do this, please.
Excellent, will do. Let me get back on the chat. So the race have posted, here's George Russell watching on the inside of the track on the approach to turn 1. Looks as though he's explaining the porpoising.
I'm now trying to fix your face. Apologies for that. There we go.
Someone's got to do it.
Sorry, everybody, for these slight technical issues. Tommy is now moving. He's alive, which is good to see. You can now see me live trying to figure out technology. So there you go. Do that. Boom. Wallop. Put that behind. Oh, this is unbelievable technical work from me here. Not going to lie to you. Right.
Well, there's a bit of a lull.
Yes.
I've seen some... should we talk a little bit about Andretti maybe, and how they've come in, and Formula One have sort of so I read the article on the race at how the FIA are just like, we don't have time for this, go away.
Yeah.
And for me that's really disappointing, because we want more teams in Formula One. Like more teams equals what we always mention, there's not enough seats and in Formula One, and like, you know, it'd be great to have another 2 F1 seats on the grid and also a legendary team. So it'd be a shame.
Yeah. Frank's whiffing and clearly feels very strongly about it as well. Yeah, it'd be awesome to have a proper American team back in Formula One, and I'm surprised there hasn't been maybe further developments, considering the American interest in Formula One in general when trying to invade that country in terms of its audience and get as many people subscribed and signed up as possible. So yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been maybe a bit more positive developments on that side of things. But I imagine, you know, that would be such a cool thing to have, you know, Andretti back in Formula One. Of course, you know, Mario Andretti, a world champion from, God, I don't even know what year. What was that, 60s or
69?
Yeah, so there you go. Oh look, Seb Vettel kind of knowledge there. Love that, Tommy.
I can, when it gets to,
cool.
I can do all the champions when it gets to like 60s. I can't believe Vettel did that. That was so impressive.
Yeah, so I know the phrasing was terrible on that particular statement. I apologise, guys. I didn't mean to do that. But it was just very much the word that I chose as I was speaking it. I apologise. Right. Anything else? So there's a few more laps on the board now. Carlos Sainz, 44 laps at the moment at the top of the timesheets. 41 for Mick Schumacher in terms of mileage. Then we've got a couple of 37 laps for Gasly and Ricciardo and Stroll as well. And Ocon has 40 laps, but still in P10. So they're still continuing to circulate out there. Hamilton's done 25. 1978 apparently is Mario Andretti. So I'm not sure where you got 69 from.
No, I don't either. I think that might have been the year he won the. Maybe I'm thinking Indy 500.
Yeah, maybe. But a few years out. But
70. Yeah, 78. Yeah, of course it is.
There's some people there
way off.
Yeah, some people that know their facts very quickly. I saw a lot of 1978s literally dropped in straight away. They're like, "Hey,
yeah,
come on, Tommy. I know my Seb Vettel champions." Still one of the greatest videos I've ever watched. I'm going to ask actually who's out on track to the race guys now. Who is out on track? Any more info to be dropped here?
Who do you reckon will bin it first?
Oh, we had that.
We've not seen any
prediction before. I want people to actually let me know in the chat, because that would be quite interesting. But for me, I can't remember who I said. I think I said Albon, maybe. Not out of disrespect to Albon, just the fact that he's back in Formula One probably feels like he needs to impress, and also to comprehensively beat Latifi, because if he doesn't, it's not going to look great for his CV. But that was mine. What was yours?
I can't remember. I think I might have said Guan Yu Zhou, maybe,
Yeah,
but he's not in until the evening, or maybe I said Yuki. But
I think you said
it's
Zhou,
one of
actually.
those. Did I? Yeah, I mean, it's actually no one's binned it. I think the closest we've had is Max had an off. Went into the gravel, and that's about as dramatic as we've had so far.
Yeah, fair. So just had confirmation that Mario Andretti did win Indy in '69. So your facts were slightly confused, but still very well remembered, Tommy. So yeah, 69 was when Mario Andretti won Indy. At the moment, out on track
Just an Indy fanboy instead. That's clearly
you are.
what
You
I
literally are. You've just exposed your true colours now. Out on track at the moment is Danny Rick, Sergio Perez, and Lance Stroll. There's not a lot going on at the moment. I'm about to sneeze. But Ricciardo is improving here and there, keeps doing one on, one off kind of laps, and apparently he's on for another improvement at the moment. So Danny Rick currently sits in P4 in the McLaren, 40 laps completed and a 1 minute 21.775, 1.2 seconds off what Carlos Sainz has currently achieved at the top of the timesheets. But apparently we are supposed to expect another improvement from Danny Rick. What are we expecting? Do we think that Danny Rick's going to pick up the pace and do better this year? I felt like he definitely closed the gap to Lando, but then it almost felt like Lando had a poor end to the season, if anything, and that definitely sort of contributed to the two teammates being a bit closer. I don't know if Tommy's listening because he's got a smirk on his face the entire time, so I'm not sure what he's reading, what he's finding funny, and we're going to need to get an insight on that.
No insight from me. I was busy.
God's sake, Tommy!
There's been no more pictures, so maybe I'll look through.
I've got a couple here that Glenn sent me. Thank you, Glenn. First one is the Ferrari looking mean, and that does look very mean from that angle, and big fanboy vibes. And the second one is I didn't actually download it. Let me download it right now. Is George Russell, the image I was speaking about? George Russell, trackside. Actually, that is a caption competition if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
What's the caption for this one, guys? George Russell, and that is Toto.
Is that Toto? No, maybe it's not. I don't know if it is Toto. No, maybe not. But if it is Toto, it's George going, still explaining how he was innocent in the Bottas crash at Imola, and Toto Wolff's like, just shut up.
Yeah. You've got the seat. Shut up. Yeah, I wonder what people in the chat think for this particular image. It's quite a good one, to be fair. Very good.
Russell's going, and I was 27 laps clear of Lewis Hamilton yesterday. I heard he's washed, and Toto's like, shut up.
What tyre was Lando? Yeah, what tyre was Lando on yesterday? Asked Kieran. It was C4. His best lap time was on, which is a softer step to a lot of the other drivers that did their best times on the C3 tyre, which is the yellow medium-walled tyre.
Not sure if it's Toto, but it definitely looks like James May next to him. Yeah, loads of people in the chat are saying it. James May, 100% looks so much like him.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Imagine if that is actually James May. I don't think it is.
It won't be.
Imagine if it is, though, just out of the blue. They're filming something amazing. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think that is Toto. I think Toto's taller than that, but then maybe it's the angle. I don't know why Toto would do that either.
George is pretty tall.
True. Too true, fam. Too true.
And how tall is James May? We need to find out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Right. You are not the father. It was this big, for God's sake. You got to read them out. It's WTF one. It's fine. Guys, Williams are better.
Yeah, I was thinking that one.
And I used this transition. I used this transition in my most recent presentation.
Good one.
What else have we got? Oh, Tom is not aligned correctly. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what? That's the tiniest of black lines. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was literally 1 millimeter of overlay. God. Anyway, done now. Did Ricciardo improve?
I'm a big fan of how people in the chat are telling us the exact height of James May. This is WTF1 chat right here.
Doesn't seem as though Daniel Ricciardo improved on that lap. It's still saying a 1 minute 21.775 in P4. He's done 44 laps. #blessed. Currently, the mileage leader is Carlos Sainz, 46 laps. Ferrari are having an absolute stonking first half of this testing in Barcelona. Watch this get properly jinxed now, and they won't do any more running for the entire day. But right now, 46 laps on the board for Carlos Sainz, and Ferrari gaining as much information as they possibly can.
Got some more motorhome chat. Maybe we Is there a lot of motorhomes? Yes, there's a lot of motorhome pictures. So I think we should do a
Toto,
grading. It's not Toto.
It's
okay.
not Toto, says Glenn. Let's have a look at a new motorhome. Boom, McLaren. To be fair, the best motorhome or building, if you want to call it, is the Formula One building. Have you seen that? It's an absolute joke. It looks like a blooming spaceship, like proper futuristic stuff. I do actually like the McLaren one as well. That looks very nice.
That to me just shows as well how the orange does not looks weird in the sun.
Yeah, agreed. Washes
and
it
also
out a lot. Looks more yellow, doesn't it? If anything,
yeah, it looks yellow. And also, please just put a black outline around those numbers and on the car, because that it's just not on. Come on,
it's not on.
Give us some.
Tommy is an expert livery designer and helmet designer. Come on.
To be fair, the teams won't care. Like they'd hide the numbers as much as possible, because at the end of the day, sponsors matter, not the numbers.
Sponsors, yeah, they are the ones. Right, we've got a bit of information from Scott Mitchell. One eyewitness, is everyone listening? This seems like a good gossip.
Okay.
One eyewitness reckons the Mercedes was among the worst sufferers of porpoising yesterday. Have also heard stories. Yeah, have also heard stories this morning of a few teams battling to get down to the weight limit and some falling a few kilos short. Plus, spares are at a premium. Don't let the high day one lap counts trick you into thinking this is all going perfectly smoothly. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate the insight there. So,
have we still got the picture of George Russell on screen?
We do not. We have the motorhome. I'll put it back.
Read the start of that sentence again, and it's literally like George Russell is saying that, and the Mercedes engineer's going, "Oh no!" They literally just read Scott Mitchell's.
It was bouncing
message.
Up and down. What? Yeah, so clearly that would make perfect sense that he was down there saying exactly where it was happening on track.
And Mercedes going, "Oh no!" So there we go. That snapshot, it's true. Mercedes are in trouble. They will finish last behind Alfa Romeo in the championship. Confirmed.
So porpoising, I think people want to know what porpoising is again. Let me get the race. They essentially explained what porpoising is. Let me get it up. Oops,
ground effect.
Gary Anderson. Okay. Let me read out to you what porpoising is once I find the true definition. It's essentially bouncing up and down, where the cars, I mean, in very basic WTF1 terms.
That's what we need.
So porpoising happens as the car is approaching maximum speed and hence load, which in turn reduces the ride height. If the separation is sufficient to mean that the downforce is reducing, then the car will be released and the ride height will then increase. So it goes from decrease to increase. Then the airflow will reattach and the ride height will again reduce, creating the same separation. The cycle will continue with the front of the car bouncing up and down. So it essentially means there's too much of that difference happening between the ride height. So they don't want that, essentially. They don't want to be having a car that's literally going up and down quite violently, because it just unsettles the car completely and gives you that bouncing motion. So that's what porpoising is in a nutshell, really. The fix is to make sure the downforce is never reduced. So the effect of the separation on the downforce produced should mean it is either linear or increases at a slower rate. So it's currently doing it too violently. It is about finding a happy medium so the car does not bounce around so much. Of course, there is going to be an element of bouncing and, there's going to be an element of moving, but it's clearly too much for certain teams. And there's rumours that Mercedes is one of those. And the testing mileage obviously, it's great to have testing mileage, but it also may suggest that more mileage means they can't get their head around what's going on. It's all very much, guesswork at this point. But interesting, isn't it, to hear about the porpoising and the problems that these teams are having.
It's going to be interesting how the teams sort of work with it, because it is something completely new to, I imagine, a lot of people, because, we've not had ground effect for
ever
years. 70s. So before it was banned. So there's going to be so many people, probably 90% of F1 teams, people in F1 teams, if not more, have never built Formula One cars, if any, to be honest, have built Formula One cars with ground effect back then. So, yeah.
So, a bit more information from the race, which you can check out their live text updates in the link in the description below. Ed Straw and Gary Anderson, who are both trackside, apparently they are trying to get a look at the car's porpoising at the end of the start-finish straight. So the Red Bull apparently was doing it a little bit with the DRS shut. There are plenty of marks on the track surface from bottoming out, and definitely more than what we saw with the old cars, which is interesting. So the teams are trying to get their head around that, which maybe is not something they saw in the simulations. I think that was the chat yesterday, is that they weren't really expecting to get the level of porpoising that they are. And maybe we need to make a video on explaining porpoising, both for everybody's
brains,
and my own brain
into video mode.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I need to make this video, for one, so I can understand it, and two, so other people can understand it.
Yeah.
How old were the tyres for each driver's fastest lap? That is a question. I don't think the information is very clear. We just know what type of tyre that was. Very difficult to tell you what Lando Norris, or how far Lando was into his C4 run. But he was the only driver, literally the only driver in the field to set his fastest lap time on the C4 tyre. Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel and Yuki Tsunoda, all the way down to 7th, were all on the C3 tyre yesterday. C2 for Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen, and Valtteri Bottas also C3 and rounding out the top 10.
Excellent stuff. I've got some more Motorhome pictures. I'm going to send you one actually. I've photoshopped the branding out.
Okay, nice.
We're going to play another one of Tommy's games.
Which
motorhome?
It's going to be motorhome. Okay.
It's going to be guess the motorhome.
Guess the motorhome. Okay, cool.
I'm guessing. Well, actually, I won't spoil anything.
Don't spoil anything. I'm going to just quickly read out another thing from the race. Scott Mitchell has come in and said that essentially DRS cures porpoising. So until teams get a better grip on their aerodynamic setups, supposedly running with the DRS open as much as possible is a helpful way to mitigate against porpoising in the short term because it reduces the load on the rear of the car. The problem is, at its most pronounced, is when DRS is fully closed. So that is, very interesting. And clearly a problem that teams are going to have to get their head around. So, because the car rocking back and forth, as is described by Gary Anderson, is like the aquatic porpoise creature dipping in and out of the ocean. There you go. That's an analogy if you ever needed one. 14,000 of you have joined so far for this morning session. Welcome. Thank you for coming in once again to join myself and Tommy to give you as much information as possible. We have the race guys, our colleagues out in Barcelona. What are you laughing at?
I was just googling a porpoise to see what it looked like, and it's a very cute and happy little thing.
Ah, lovely.
They look happy all the time. It's very wholesome.
Okay, right. So I have just put on screen the motorhome that Tommy has photoshopped. Guess the motorhome. Get in the chat now and guess what that is. Oh, Lord. I even watched Ted's Notebook and I was hoping I was going to notice and recognise the shape, but I don't, which means I know which ones it's not. Ooh. That is difficult. I think I know what I'm going to go with, and people are going to be spamming.
It's difficult. I mean, I literally, it's just guess, isn't it? If you've not seen it,
a lot of people are saying Haas. Is that Haas? I'm just trying to remember.
A lot of people are saying Haas.
I don't think it is Haas. Is it Haas?
No, it's not Haas.
Good. Okay, good. Phew. I'm going to go with Alpine.
It is not.
God, okay, damn it. AlphaTauri.
It is not.
Oh my God. Ferrari.
It is not.
Oh, for God's sake, I give up.
well, we'll be a little bit behind. So people have put a lot of guesses in now. It is Aston Martin.
Oh,
which I'm assuming. So I just photoshopped out one tiny logo. So I'm guessing they've not painted it yet, because I would be amazed if it wasn't in British Racing Green in their branding. But I imagine, that's testing for you. Like maybe some things aren't quite finished.
How strange.
Because I'd be amazed if that was just white with an Aston Martin logo on, like it is at the moment. Which I've obviously photoshopped out the Aston logo so you couldn't see it. But yeah, I'm sure that will be in there. Nice green branding at some point.
Wow, interesting. To give you an update, an hour and 20 to go until the end of the morning session. Carlos Sainz is the fastest with a 1 minute 20.546 on the C3 tyre, 46 laps completed. Gasly is second, 21.466, so just under a second back on the C3 tyre, 37 laps completed. Alex Albon, 1 minute 21.657, 25 laps completed, so not as many for the Williams driver. Maybe there's a few changes happening in that garage. Danny Rick, 1 minute 21.775 on the C2 tyre, 46 laps completed, so a good hefty chunk for the McLaren driver at the moment. Sergio Perez, after a quite quiet start to the morning session, has now done 34 laps on the in his fastest time is on the C2 tyre at 22.412. Then it's Mick Schumacher in 6th, a 22.535 on the C3 tyre, 41 laps completed. Lewis Hamilton, 27 laps completed, so still not a huge amount for him at the moment, at 22.562. If you think he did 50 laps yesterday, and we are well over the halfway distance of this morning session, so Hamilton maybe not as many laps again that he would have wanted in that car. Lance Stroll, he's done 43 laps, and his fastest lap is a 22.620 on the C2 tyre. Then it's Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo, 22.858, only 12 laps completed still. So despite that small run where we thought, okay, maybe they're going to start to ramp up the mileage, they've only done 12 laps. So Alfa still really struggling, and the rumours are that they're struggling with the porpoising and trying to fix that. But if they're not out there, they're not particularly testing too many different setups. And finally, Esteban Ocon, a 23.280, 10th place, 40 laps completed, and his best time is on the C2 tyre as well. So there's an update in case you're just around the house doing your chores, doing some work yourself, and you don't have time to read the timings. So there you go.
What is porpoising? Someone said. Well, you've clearly just joined because we just explained it. But we're going to be putting an article up soon on WTF1.com explaining it, and we'll do a video for YouTube too.
Right, we've got lots more images actually, which is great.
The floor one is quite an interesting one. Because I've just sent it you as well. But
okay, so we've just been told, we've been speaking about motorhomes. Glenn's just said most teams take smaller motorhomes to testing, and it's probably why the Aston one is a bit meh.
Yeah.
So, that was a yeah. Let's actually so we were just speaking about the cars bottoming out. There's a picture of that. And there's the image of that bottoming out and scraping along the tarmac. Good to see that sort of stuff. We speak about it, and then we can just show you a picture, which is about as much as we're going to get for these first 3 days.
Yeah, hopefully one of the F1 cameras for their YouTube video, something has a nice super slow-mo or something of that.
Oh, there's another lovely picture of Hamilton in that Mercedes that I've just put up. That is gorgeous. Very, very nice.
Yeah, the Patronus colour really pops lovely.
It pops.
Soon Mark Hughes just tweeted that new parts arriving in Barcelona for Red Bull. So it begins already. All the parts arriving for
I guess the afternoon session, I suppose. Yeah,
develop. Maybe that's what Perez was so surprised about in our caption.
Yeah. So there's the Merc.
Updates already.
Let's have a look at a few more motorhomes. This one, Alfa Romeo. That's
didn't camo it though.
No, they didn't camo it. It looks like a tent, doesn't it? Really, it's a weird looking motorhome that from this angle that I've just put up.
It's kind of cool, but yeah, also looks a little bit like a tent over the top of it.
Well, actually, that's a fantastic segue, speaking of tents, to speak about the WTF1 Clubhouse this year, the British Grand Prix, between the 30th of June and the 4th of July. So we are hosting our second WTF1 Clubhouse, where we are camping with you guys, spending loads of time together. We do pub quizzes, we have simulators. It's going to be about 3 times as big as what we did last year, and this is pictures from last year. So just imagine the scale that we're going this year. It's going to be an awesome time. We have sit down, we chat with you guys, we have drinks, we chill out, we speak about the race, we do Q&As, we do live podcast, live internet's best reactions if you want to watch me be rubbish on camera, and all sorts. It was great weather last year, and every single person that filled out the feedback form from last year, this is no lie, said that they would come back again this year. And we're selling out actually quite fast. So if you want to book yourself a tent, you can also book yourself a cabin, I think, this year. I don't know of the availability of these things, but you can just check them out. There is a link, I believe, in the description to join Team WTF1. And you can then come and camp with us, have a good time. And yeah, it was such an awesome experience. I'm not even joking. I've never camped before, and I actually genuinely really enjoyed it. So really looking forward to this year. If you want to, if you have any questions, there is a Team WTF1 email as well, isn't there? I think it is teamwtf1 at wtf1.com. Team at WTF1.com. If you have any questions, and then there's lots more information at WTF1.com/clubhouse. So go and check that out if you will. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, back to the testing. And what are we seeing out on track at the moment? Have we seen any more? Oh, actually, we've got something from trackside. Ed Straw has said, Schumacher in the Haas having to be slightly hesitant on turn into the first corner. A marked difference from the more flowing Mercedes behind him. Behind him, hello. How closely behind him, we don't know.
Yeah, tell us, please. So, is it easy to drive?
Mick Schumacher actually as well, speaking of him and the Haas, has just improved with a 1 minute 21.949 on the C3 compounds. There's 5 cars on track at the moment. Thank you, Jack, from the race. Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, and Esteban Ocon. We've now got a picture of Alex Albon, who is no longer on track, but let's get you a picture of that. A nice rear shot of the Williams and big old Safina sponsor on the back of that rear wing. I actually quite like that angle. I like the... you know how the only way I can describe this, it could be described as waves, but when you're at school and you do like a bird, you do like a little symbol of a bird. That's literally how I would have done it. So I like those little red things on the top. Actually looks quite cool.
I really like the Williams. Very nice.
You've changed your mind? How could you?
No, it's good. I
like
it.
Disgusting. You're not allowed to change your mind ever. So that is... Stream stopped for anyone. What are you talking about? Don't scare me like that, pro gamer. I don't know. It's just
pro gamer
people bait. They really do. I really hope the stream hasn't stopped.
I've sent you another image.
Oh, a new image. What have we got?
Half and half. Mercedes versus Red Bull.
Where are you sending it? You haven't sent it to me.
Huh? I sent it in our chat.
No, you haven't.
Oh,
which chat?
Let me look.
Now you have. It's just arrived.
Oh, I must have gone.
Your internet must be rubbish. Right, this is a very cool side by side. Everybody, check this out. Ooh, okay. Right, what do we? I think the most notable difference for me is the nose.
The Red Bull's yellow and the
yeah, true. To be fair, I think it's the fact that the yellow ends and the black continues, but it looks like the nose actually ends when it doesn't. Definitely a narrower front wing for the Mercedes in terms of the end shape. There, it arches a lot quicker.
Side pods are you can see how much higher the Red Bull cut-in is. They've gone for a really high side pod.
They've gone for a high side pod, but then less volume compared to the Mercedes. It's got a big old chunky airbox, haven't they?
Yeah, and one's pull rod and one's push rod. You can tell I'm not technical enough.
I love how you've ended that with a question.
They are
definitely.
So they're definitely.
So Mercedes is from what I understand, Mercedes is a push rod, and Red Bull is a pull. Is that what you would say?
I keep forgetting which
So,
one's which.
because it pushes into the rocker. I feel like that,
Right,
the
okay.
Mercedes one, the way it goes up into the rocker, whereas I believe, I think I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
One thing I've noticed with the Red Bull actually is, if anyone joined us on yesterday's stream when we had that lovely Alfa Romeo graphic where they were talking about how the suspension part goes really high up into the car. I feel like the Red Bull's got that too. Like they've almost, it doesn't really go into the side; it goes into the top, where it's almost like they've had to mold an extra bit on because the suspension's so high up.
This image is actually very cool. You're going to pop that on Twitter. I think that is a
I am. I've just sent it to Katie to sort out.
Good lad. Always thinking of the old twits, even if there are twits on Twitter as well. It's really cool. I love these side-by-side pictures. It gives us a great sort of insight into what we're looking at. Of course, is that from yesterday as well? That must be Max's, because it's number one.
No, it's Perez.
Oh, is it?
It's because it's one.
That looks like the thickest one ever, though. Oh, I can see a tiny bit of red. I can see a tiny bit of red. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
If the one was that off center, I would be writing
crying.
a message.
I didn't know if it was just the way that they had sent the image. But okay, cool. So there you go. Any questions that we've got coming in from you guys? Considering the 2 days, do you guys think that every compound right now is creating a second difference? Well, it's difficult to say, really. I'm not sure it would be a second difference between C1, C2, and then C2, C3, C3, C4, etc. It's not what we've seen before. But then again, it's different wheels. 18-inch wheels. We had 13-inch last year. The behaviours of the tyres is something that the teams are going to be getting their head around. And obviously, they're not going performance running at the moment. So it's difficult to see, these aren't exactly extreme lap times that we're seeing being put on the board. We've got, I believe, Danny Rick has improved. It's very difficult to keep an eye on the times because there are some minuscule improvements out there. I'm pretty sure Ricciardo was on a 21.7. He's now on a 21.698. He's done 49 laps. He's the mileage leader, is Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren. Carlos Sainz has done 47 laps. Mick Schumacher, 46 laps. Lance Stroll, 43. Ocon, 44. Hamilton's still down at 33.
And of course, number.
yeah. And unfortunately for Alfa Romeo, 12 laps.
Brutal.
That's going to be painful for the Alfa Romeo team because not a huge amount of days of testing, and these are brand new cars. 12 laps and then 32 yesterday from my
I'm just looking at our graphic
recollection.
that we made. 32.
32.
Yeah.
32 yesterday. So that is a total of 45. 44 laps in 2 days so far. That is that's painful. That is very painful for Alfa Romeo. Not a lot of data to go on at the moment. So as you said, new parts are arriving in Barcelona for Red Bull that Mark Hughes has tweeted. And I'm just going to find out who is on track right now so we can keep you up to date. Who is on track? And I'm also going to show you as well, after that cool side-by-side image that I really enjoyed, is the F1 motorhome. Look at that. It's almost like F1 have been like, yes, there was a lot of controversy last year. We'd like to remind you who the bosses are.
Yeah.
Look at our building.
We're in charge.
Yeah, it looks very cool. I don't know if that picture actually does it justice because Ted's notebook yesterday was in the night, or not in the night, but in the darkness, and the lights really did make it pop. But there is the F1.
It's the black
F1
and
building.
the red, the Sith. They look like you're not going to mess with us. We are.
Yeah, literally.
The enemy. We will.
Evil.
Yeah.
We will come.
Yeah.
Don't come after us. Have I got anything else that I've been sent recently? Maybe. That's the note. I've seen the McLaren motorhome. We've shown the Alfa motorhome. I think
we have
that's
a gander at any more pictures.
right. We're going to go back to this. We're going to go back to the side-by-side because I think that's a very cool image. Whilst Tommy finds some more stuff, we've got an hour and 7 minutes until lunchtime for the second session of the year. Not second session, third session technically, but second day. Ricciardo is the first driver to hit half a century of laps. although Sainz and Schumacher look to be very much on their way to getting to 50 as well before lunchtime. There's a question that Gary Anderson has been asking over on the race. Live text updates in the description if you want to check that out. With the front wing element now direct fixed to the nose, apart from the leading element on some cars, will we see less front wings braking when two cars touch each other? So Gary Anderson has said, I'm not sure we will see a big difference. In the past, the centre section, which is 500 millimetres wide, was an FIA-defined symmetrical profile, so at least everyone had the same section in that area. Now it can be what a team feels is best aerodynamically, and as we have seen, there is a fair amount of variety out there. Last year, obviously, we had some form of pillar mounting, so at least that's gone, but it is still down to the teams to design a wing-to-nose fixing that will withstand the aerodynamic loads. Not many teams will stress this out to suit the unknown of running into someone. Not many teams will stress this out to suit the unknown of running into someone or something, which is a very good point. As much as you do want a durable car, you want something that's going to not fall to pieces the second it taps a car. That's not what they can really design it. It's got to be about being the fastest and being the most reliable. And, building a rigid, strong car but being a second slower is not going to be... obviously, safety is still paramount and there will be the safety features. But in terms of preserving bits on the car, that's not something that any F1 team is really going to put as the number one priority.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, actually, because I did think the same when I saw it. Because as a... how dare I not like the look of a car, as we've already spoken about before. But the old Formula One cars, I'm going to get a picture now, actually. Yeah. What really annoyed me about them is how, obviously, you have the nose cone, then you have the little, whatever you'd call them, that attach them to the wing. And obviously, because of the way the regulations were written, in a lot of older and more pretty Formula One cars, I would say, they go straight into the front wing and it looks like a solid piece. Yeah. But they were so close. Whereas obviously what we're saying now about the new cars, the nose goes into the wing and it looks a lot more sturdy. Whereas this picture I've sent you of a front wing from last year, it does look like it would just snap off at the tiniest little thing. If you look at the nose and how it's attached to the wing, it's hanging on. It almost looks like it's hanging on by a thread. Obviously, it's extremely strong because it has to withstand a lot of. Yeah, the picture I just sent you.
Yeah, I'll put that up on screen for you guys.
Obviously, Formula One cars are extremely strong, but
yeah, that's
you look at that, and it's like it did used to annoy me that it's like. No, it looks out of place. It looks like the wing should be further back.
Yeah, it looks like
the actual support.
It looks like me when I build furniture, where you go, that's got maybe that's the hole. All right, we'll stick it there and hope for the best.
Yeah, it looks like it's fallen off. Whereas with the new cars, let me just get a picture of that. So you'll be pleased to hear it's the Ferrari.
Yes, let's go Ferrari. Come on.
Maybe we can flick between them so you can see just how...
So for reference, this is last year's McLaren that we're showing, yeah?
Yeah, that's last year's McLaren.
Yeah.
And then obviously the new noses... seconds. Right, there we go.
Just going to wait for that to come through. When Tommy's internet... definitely works.
No, I've not sent it yet.
I've not sent it. Okay.
I saved it as FERRR, and it was like, you've already named a file.
Oh my God, as if I knew it was going to happen where you spam a file name and it's just eventually going to say, nah. I've just had some insight actually from the race guys, which I will read out to you very quickly. So right now on track is Carlos Sainz, Mick Schumacher and Lance Stroll. SSS, Sainz, Schumacher, Stroll. As I mentioned, Ricciardo first to hit 50 laps. So Sainz and Schumacher have actually gone past 50 laps, which is a good target for Haas to have gotten already 3 hours into testing. And Alpha, just to remind everybody, and if you are a Bottas/Alfa Romeo fan, I'm sorry, they're still on 12 laps and not out of the pits. Okay, thank you, Tommy, for sending that over. Right, let's take a look. So that is last year's McLaren. and this is the Ferrari nose this year. Yeah, it's
So you can
it's
see that
worlds apart, isn't it?
the wing is actually attached to the car
Yeah.
this year,
And
they don't have those little end plates.
And that's the thing, isn't it?
attach
Those are the kind of things that Formula One have been working to change, because those. Let's go back very quickly to last year's McLaren. I know they had simplified the wings, but even that disturbs the airflow in a way in which Formula One didn't want. It makes it unpredictable and causes that dirty air to then not allow cars behind to follow as closely. So then you have this more consistent block of front wing, if you want to call it. Makes it much more consistent. And then the rear wing at the back and the way in which they're a lot more arched, aren't they? They're a lot more sort of shovel-like, and that pushes the air up and hopefully over the cars behind, so it disturbs the air a lot less. That's my small, basic aerodynamic understanding. Sorry if that was all wrong, but I don't think it was.
And from the people that just like the aesthetics, in my opinion, it looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, I agree. Just to let you know, the only car on track at the moment is Carlos Sainz now. Stroll just improved to 5th on a 1 minute 21.920. But now we only have Carlos out on track. So Ferrari just pumping in the laps, which you love to see, as long as they're not porpoising and struggling. But I don't think they are. Doesn't seem like they are from their lap times, at least. But good stuff. Good stuff. So we'll keep an eye. 54 laps for Sainz, 53 laps for Schumacher, 51 laps for Danny Rick. Hamilton's done 37 now, so he's closing in on what he did yesterday. But George Russell did 77, so you'd imagine it's a disappointing session for Hamilton, whatever they've been up to. Maybe it's okay, but you'd think the drivers want as much time as possible in these new cars, especially if this whole talk of driving style is changing. They want to be working out what they want to do. What are you laughing at?
Glenn's literally just sent the exact image I was about to send you, but it's already been sent.
The next caption competition.
Caption competition. I saw that image and was like, that is perfect.
Here we go then, guys.
And I just made it.
Caption competition. What is Lawrence Stroll saying to Sebastian Vettel? For me, it's Lawrence saying, you're having 3 minutes in the car.
Yeah. Or we've got new updates. They're only for Lance.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, we didn't bring your car. We brought 2 for Stroll. What are people saying in the chat? I'll be interested to see what you think for this caption competition. Vettel is not at the grid this morning, right? Well, Arda, as you can see, he is at the grid at the track. Can we add some low music in here? Says Moore's Beth. Do people really want music?
No, you just get demonetized. So.
Well, unless it's uncopyrighted stuff.
Yeah, but I think people are just you can have your own music on like quite quietly in the background, right? Stick on Spotify or something.
Yeah. Stick on some music yourself, guys, and then you can be your own DJ.
Or just put on the WTF1 podcast and silent and ramp up our views.
Yeah, because that definitely fits the bill of putting music on. Have us on mute. A lot of people saying nice hair. Hey Seb, can Lance drive? You're like a son to me, says Tim. Stay away from my son, says Luke.
Stay away from my son.
You are driver number 2 this year, says Andrea. Where did you get that?
Oh, God. I wasn't even reading that out. I was sending you a picture.
What I was reading, yeah. Stroll, you're already great. Now let my son drive. Seb, I'm sorry, but Mick is going to be out at F1 because cash is king. I don't know what, poor Mick. If you beat Lance, you'll be picking litter up at the factory. Wow. You're like the son I never had, says Ricky. Let Lance beat you this season or you're fired, says No Rabbit Dogs.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was the obvious joke, wasn't it? The something about Stroll.
We don't have enough tyres for your car. We are giving them to Lance. Love it.
Right, I've sent you a nice new comparison shot.
Oh, we love a comparison shot.
While you're chatting all your technical knowledge, I need to let the dogs out to the toilet.
Oh, let the dogs out. Oof, oof, oof. All right, off you go then. Tommy's gone. Oh, God. What's happened here? Why has everything just exploded? Right, Tommy's just sent me... Tommy just sent me an image that's just a black screen. What? That didn't download properly, I don't think. Let me try again. It was just like, I've disappeared. How about now? There we go. All right. I don't know what just happened there. Streamlabs just had a little bit of an explosion, but we're fine. This is the side-by-side with the McLaren and the Alpine. And to be fair, you can't even, like, with that shot, you can't even really tell where the airboxes begin and end, but you can see it's a good old chunky wide boy for McLaren. Look how wide that airbox goes. Much less boxy, though, I suppose, than some that we've seen. I think that we were speaking yesterday as well about the rear of the McLaren and the way that was very boxy for cooling, but very much curved for the McLaren on the right there. You can see as well maybe the rear wing slightly narrower for the McLaren as opposed to the Alpine that looks a little bit more deeper. But then again, it might just be the way in which the colours go from this sort of teal for the dark trace sponsor and then it goes to black. Just looking elsewhere, wing-wise, slightly different shape. I think we joked yesterday about the Nigel Mansell moustache-looking Alpine front wing on the left, and then it arches a lot smoother for the McLaren on the right. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got in terms of comparison. And looking, McLaren is very curvy, says London City Trader. Johan says McLaren be thick. Thick with 2 C's, that is. Hour 3 summary from the race. Live updates you can find in the description. Fastest time again, lowered by Sainz, who is 20.546, as we saw. The Ferrari driver also leads the lap count on 58, which will be updated very shortly on your screens. Schumacher next best with 53 laps, giving Haas much needed running. And Williams and Alfa Romeo both absent for at least an hour. So yeah, Alfa Romeo still on 12 laps. I hate to keep banging on that drum, but it is a shame. Albon may be in P3 in the Williams, but only 25 laps. So the second least running for Williams. Not ideal, but they did have a great day yesterday. So it's not alarm bells just yet, but it certainly is for Alfa Romeo and Bottas and Zhou, because Zhou will be going in this afternoon. Hasn't even been in the car yet, has Guan Yu Zhou, because we had Robert Kubica go in for, I think, only 9 laps yesterday morning, and then Bottas went out in the afternoon. So, Guan Yu Zhou, new to Formula One, needs some mileage, but if the Alfa Romeo is broken, it might be a big old struggle. Forza Ferrari, I've just seen in the chat. Not sure why. Probably just because they are fastest at the moment. What do you think about the Perez result? The only thing that you can really judge it on is the laps. He's done 34, which isn't a huge amount. It's similar to Hamilton on 37. I think Perez would have liked more this morning, but he is in for the entire day. So Red Bull, I'm sure, will try and do a chunk load more laps this afternoon, as long as there aren't any issues. Williams still on 25 laps, and crying faces from Metal Bones. Where do you watch the training? I'm not watching anything, in fact, Andre. It is very much just our colleagues giving us the information in Barcelona, as well as XPB images that we're being sent that you can see on screen right now. Hello, Tommy. Welcome back. Hope you had a lovely dog toilet break.
Indeed. We got the... did you share the McLaren versus Alpine?
Versus McLaren. Yeah, I kind of ran through it, but you can let people know what you think. It looks like you've had a nice little... No, you don't you dare. I was about to go get myself a snack, because it looks like you've just picked up a biscuit or something. I can see that you're still chewing slightly, so it's made me hungry. I'm just going to go get another drink and a brunch bar, because, they are lovely.
So what's on the screen? So
it's the Alpine and the McLaren, so... Do what you will with that. I spoke a little bit about the air intakes, slightly different front wings, maybe a slightly narrower rear wing for the McLaren, but feel free to dive into those again or whatever. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Goodbye.
Okay, excellent. It's hard to cover anything more than Matt's already said, but
So sorry.
What's that? Oh,
I said I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I mean, imagine if that was a livery though, half blue and pink, half another blue and orange. It's probably the most garish, like 2 cars, definitely standing out on track though. Yeah, for me, the BWT Alpine, as soon as I say Alpine, I want to say BWT, which clearly shows that the pink sponsorship works, because I always think BWT. The front wing is a wavy boy That's my technical analysis. But I don't feel like any other team have gone for quite such a wavy front wing where it sort of goes up, down, up, down, up, down, whereas everyone else has sort of got the one smooth sort of shape, kind of like what you see with the McLaren on the other side, where it's pretty much flat and then swoops down. Or even if teams that have gone for more of a low bit at the start, swoop up higher and go swoops back down. I've not seen any other team, as far as I know, that have sort of played about with putting two swoops in there. Technical stuff from me. Let me have a look at the latest lap times. So science is brilliant, Frank. Science is banging in the laps. 61 laps so far, and Matt's brilliant timing. To avoid your listening to dogs barking, I will be back in 30 seconds. Hello. Oh, we're back. Here's the culprit. Well, there's two of them now. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Frank, Wolfworth, show us Frank. I mean, yeah. Standard stuff. Content. Yeah, this is the content everyone wants. Just no talking at all. Quick, everyone post memes. Hello, the race. Why do teams only allow one car? It's a good question. It's always been that way. I assume it's a cost thing. I might just ask the race chat. Why do teams? I will ask the race chat because they might actually know. But from I'd assume it would be a cost thing. So 4 cars on track at the moment. Yeah, Glenn's confirmed to me that it is cost. You can only run 1 car per team. 4 cars on track: Gasly, Albon, Hamilton, and Ocon. Gasly just improved to P2 with a 1:21.132. Glenn says, yeah, they used to bring a car for each driver plus test drivers. Those were obviously the days, where they could have spare cars. They used to have spare cars as well. So back in the 90s, a long time ago when I started watching as a kid, but drivers would have an enormous crash, completely write off their car, and if it was a red flag and a restart, they would run back to the pit lane, jump in the spare car, and they could go again. But obviously they'd only have 1 spare car, which meant that when you had 2 drivers that crashed into each other at the start, it was kind of sometimes a race back to the pits.
Yeah. Hope you survived okay. I see Frank made an appearance once again on the stream. Love that.
He started that someone was at the door when and I've got 2 dogs, so it was chaos. So everyone was left unattended because of these 2.
Oh, let's show this. Were you speaking about the Williams side pod hole at all, or
no? We can.
No, let me speak about that. The Williams side pod hole. So, just had this from Glenn at the race. It said he found a shot of the Williams side pod hole. That's a hole in the back of the side pod, and from this angle, you can see all the way through it. Oh yeah, there's a hole there. Yeah,
Wait, let me have a look.
Yeah, so it's literally a hole that goes all the way through it. So you can see the curve.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That is
That is quite bizarre.
that's interesting. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
How bizarre. Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, so did you say that someone improved as well that I haven't seen?
Gasly.
Gasly, yeah, up to second. Lovely. Carlos Sainz, 61 laps now in that Ferrari.
Okay, this is going in the stream.
What are you?
We're breaking up for some memes. I want you to live react to it.
Okay, what am I doing?
Our graphic designer Ollie has photoshopped the actual Ferrari hype train itself.
Oh God.
And I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, I'll try and not look at it, and I'll just put it up on a stream, and then I'll react to it.
Wow, you can.
No, it's going to be a live react. Okay, I'm not going to look. Download. Okay, don't look. Don't look. Okay, image. Okay, here we go. Wait, there's nobody on it.
Oh yeah, Ollie, how could you?
Ollie, I said that it had sold out, and there's nobody on there. Where's Tommy? Tommy should be somewhere.
I should be there.
Not a fanboy.
I'm the old.
Oh, amazing! That
I like the number plate. The
Tommy,
Tifosi
please
as well.
send me that image. I need to put that on my Twitter immediately. Thank you so much. That is a hilarious meme.
It's in our WTF1 WhatsApp.
Oh, is it? Oh, incredible.
Yeah, Ollie sent it.
Oh, that is brilliant. What do we think of that chat? Are we a fan of that? That is that is a great meme. That's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that is. Sorry, Benji.
Who's getting on the train? Like, why?
Yeah, who wants to get on the train? Everyone in chat, let us know.
Yeah, we need to know who is going to be on this train because I said the tickets had sold out. Apparently, everyone's got off it after Lando went fastest in yesterday's day one testing. So there you go. That is brilliant. That's a great meme. Thank you, Ollie, for that. That is great. I'm going to let that linger for it's actually even the train is on Redwood soft tires as well, so we're going to be going quite quickly. I just noticed the Tifosi thing on the front. It's brilliant. Like the Tifosi
the number
plate. Oh,
genius.
that is so cool. I love how I'm hanging out of it as well, and yet there's a rogue hand on the steering wheel. That looks like it's coming out of a very odd place, by the way. Have you?
I didn't see that.
Oh dear, that's good stuff. Cool. All right, so that's
oh yeah, I can see
that rogue hand coming out of my crotch. Right, back to the Williams side pod hole. I'm going to ask the race, what do you think the reason is for that? Any reason you can think of for that? See, it's great. You know, I can just ask the technical experts, relay it in a dumbed down version. Boom. That's basically it. So, Tom Bellingham is typing in this Slack chat now. So I'm looking forward to Tommy answering the question. But no, it's good stuff. So anything else happening at the moment? So Scott Mitchell from the race has let us know, after watching Trackside together, George Russell and Ineos founder / Mercedes co-owner Jim Ratcliffe have headed back to the Mercedes garage, with George providing a briefing on the characteristics of the new cars along the way. Interesting.
Guessing Ineos founder is who we thought was James May then earlier.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. He didn't look particularly happy, did he? And Williams is back out on track. Alex Albon, he's one of 4 on track at the moment. Hamilton, Ocon, Gasly and Albon. Although that was 7 minutes ago, so may well have changed. But what hasn't changed is Carlos Sainz, the mileage leader, on 61 laps. Hamilton creeping up to 40. Choo-choo indeed. Choo-choo. Show us the other dog, says Sahil. There isn't another dog today, I don't think. Is there?
There is.
Oh, there is. Oh, I was staying for a while.
He's too heavy.
Doggy Hotel. Oh yeah. To be fair, have you not seen the 100% force feedback challenge? Like Tommy struggles.
You'd struggle. He weighs
a big boy. Oh,
yeah,
bless him. Bless. We do love a doggo here. Cool. Sainz fastest by 0.6 of a second at the top, 20.546. Gasly 21.132. But the mileage, that's where we're looking. As much as I do read out the times, Alfa Romeo still not out of the pit lane. Let's have a look and see on social media, see if there's anything about struggles.
Alfa Romeo.
I wonder if Alfa Romeo themselves have tweeted. Have they? Oh, apparently we disconnected for a second. Don't know why Streamlabs keeps doing that. But hey-ho, we disconnected for about 2 seconds, I think. My apologies. I hope those 2 seconds you didn't miss out on anything. I can tell you for a fact you didn't. Ed Straw has just come in with some information, which is quite interesting. Sainz seems to be holding the Ferrari just to the right of the normal line down the main straight before moving left, approaching turn 1. Maybe that's to keep off the worst of the bumps on approach to the corner. He moves right a bit coming down the hill, approaching turn 1 when the load is building to its highest point. So is that going to be the solution for teams in terms of the porpoising, the bouncing up and down, the changes of ride height? Is that the way they're going to do it? Surely not. It must be a temporary solution for now. But yeah, so it seems as though every team, don't quote me on it, but it seems as though every team is struggling with it in certain levels, because at the end of the day, they all have the same regulations to adhere to. I wonder if F1 themselves will step in and allow for slightly more creativity in certain areas to stop that porpoising from happening.
I've got a question for the race. I'm going to message them. I wonder if, I want to know if this was expected. Have we already covered that? Was it expected? Did we think this would be the thing that teams would? Because this seems to be the thing that's sort of taken over the whole chat of.
I don't know if it was expected or not, because I know that we covered it yesterday about the fact that the teams were surprised that it's happening because in their simulation running that wasn't a factor. But yeah, it's worth asking the question. Always happy to hear more information on it. Matt, why don't you have a dog? I don't have a dog because it's not right. It's not the right time in my life to get a dog. It's like having a mini baby. I will.
It is.
I love dogs more than life itself.
Yeah, and it's good because people shouldn't just buy them and then not be able to look after it. Like lockdown, absolutely. And then you get back to work and it's like, oh, now what?
yeah, exactly.
So don't do that.
But I will one day. Don't worry. You will see a doggo on stream at some point. Oh, okay. And let me put up this new picture from Tommy and from XPB. Halo is the name of the picture, and it's all about the halos. Although, yeah, we can't quite see where's that bottom right one, Tommy?
Pardon?
What's the bottom right image that you've sent me?
I didn't make this. It's
okay. I have absolutely no idea what that bottom right one is supposed to be telling us. I don't see any halos there.
It's the winglets. Like it's the green.
Oh, I see.
So everything in green.
Oh, okay.
Is like a winglet. So McLaren have got one sort of
on the green. Okay, so it's. Oh, okay. No, that is
that's
interesting.
On the halo, isn't it? Like on the side of the halo.
Yeah, the halo the Haas winglets are weird.
The Haas reminds me of I want to say 2005 McLaren that had the bunny ears.
17 years ago.
2005's not that. Wow.
17 years ago.
I was like, that's not that long ago. But the Kimi McLaren, where it kind of looked like it had bunny ears.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you mean. Maybe you actually that up. I do, no, genuinely. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say,
the West McLaren, isn't it? Is it West McLaren?
Yeah.
So what? I'm just looking at the Ferrari as well. Yeah, some interesting shapes there. Alpine just look like they've stuck a couple of winglets on the end of the halo. Like, yeah, that'll help. It's a very odd placement for those two. And the
Alpine is definitely less aggressive with what they've done.
And then the McLaren. It's just
wonder how much the
tray. No, I wasn't going to give any sort of insight whatsoever. I was just looking at the McLaren one and just seeing that it was just a sticky out pointy bit. Carry on.
It's funny that Haas obviously have got. Looks like Haas have got the most there, and obviously yesterday, the initial reaction from people that know a lot more about technical Formula One than we do was that the Haas looked the most developed, and I wonder if. You can see that there, that they've essentially put a lot more into it. That they've, had that more wind tunnel time to try these things.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, I wonder how that works. I envision they're in the wind tunnel and there's an FIA person with the stopwatch. It's like, all right, stop.
Yeah. So the technical term for those sticky out pointy bits are halo fins. That's
halo fins.
Halo fins. And then as for the porpoising side of things, Glenn's let us know from the race. Not sure if teams expected it or not, but they can't replicate it in wind tunnels because it would damage the belts on the floor of the wind tunnel. So that's not something that they can test, unfortunately. Oh, red flag. We've got a red flag. First red flag of the test. And I'm just getting the information. What's happened? I just got the first red flag of the test. What's happened? We need to know.
We need to know. What's happened? We need to know.
We need to know.
Once said for the last.
Ricardo's gone second a few minutes ago. Oh, actually, just 1 minute ago. He's gone second with a 1 minute 20.948.
Sergio Perez.
Sergio Perez has caused the red flag, getting some more information from Jack at the race. Not sure, but it's for Perez. Okay, so that's all we know is that Perez has caused the red flag, which is interesting. Wonder what's gone on with that Red Bull.
The last two tweets in my on my Twitter feed are from Chris Medland, and the first one is, and it's Gasly down the inside into turn one, and it's Gasly overtaking Perez, and then 1 minute later, red flag, it's Perez. So I assume they've not ploughed into the side of each other, and it's probably just a technical. Because obviously, with a red flag in Formula One, it's normally for a lot more of a huge thing. But in practice sessions and testing sessions, pretty much as soon as anyone breaks down, they just stop the whole thing. It just makes sense to do it because there's no repercussions for it. Like, it's not like they're interrupting a race or anything.
Interesting. So I wonder what's going on there with Sergio Perez. Interesting. So he stopped on the exit of turn 13.
Interesting.
I need to find that. I need to get that image of the Ferrari hype train. So whilst we do have that red flag, we've got 34 minutes to go until lunchtime. So I wonder how long it'll take for the car to be recovered. I can't imagine too long if it is literally just him stopping on turn 13. We're just keeping an eye out on what the information is. Mechanical issue is what we're hearing.
Uh-oh.
Not ideal, because Red Bull, obviously, have been pushing through with the mileage.
I can already hear of course it happens to Perez. Verstappen does 147 laps.
Verstappen did too many miles and broke the car for Perez.
As soon as Perez gets in the car, he's engine off.
Engine off. I wonder how long that will take to repair then, because it's obviously there's the afternoon session, and if it's a big failure for Perez and a lot of work to do, then they'll just lose a lot of track running. And then, of course, there's one final day tomorrow, and that's split in half between Verstappen and Perez. So poor Sergio, he managed 38 laps, I believe, before pulling to a halt. Now, remember, with a red flag, it doesn't stop the time. So it will run into lunchtime if it takes half an hour to get the car, but I can't imagine it'll take that long. But no, we don't get any stoppages of the time due to a red flag. It very much is an 8 till 5 jobby, for want of a better term. Have you got any more images? Have we got an image of...
Get the Williams side pod back up, because Glenn has explained why.
Oh,
there's a big hole in the Williams side pod.
We're hearing in my ear. We've got some update on the Williams side pod hole. Okay, and so Glenn has said, the Williams side pod hole, it's to reduce porpoising by allowing a bit of airflow leakage so the underfloor isn't working quite as hard. There you go. That's one particular change that Williams have, I would assume, have made between day 1 and day 2 due to their learnings. So it's quite interesting how teams can just very quickly come up with aerodynamic innovations and put it on the car. Whether it will disturb and change the entire airflow and performance of the car, that's what they're going to find out today. So interesting stuff.
Porpoising is quickly becoming the
buzzword
the buzzword of testing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm still loving all the comments on our Instagram of we put the guess the car up again, and just everyone that thinks it's a Red Bull because there's Red Bull logo, and like ha ha ha. It's like,
yeah. Just seeing if there's any more information on Perez at the moment. It seems as though it's just a case of collecting the car and getting him back to the Red Bull garage. Are the top speeds published?
It's just broken down.
I think they are, or at least the people in the media centre can see that information, I believe, on the timing screen. Sorry, Tommy, what were you saying?
I know, just saying that I assume Perez is just broken down. Like there's not it's not hearing too much info on what
not
it
a lot
is.
of info.
They're probably just
it's literally just a stop of turn 13, potentially engine related. I wonder if he'll be able to get out this afternoon, because that'll be crucial for Perez. The race have said we have no CCTV footage of the track, but Perez has come through the final sector before the red flag was shown. There's a big stop where his third sector time should be on the timing screen. So it essentially means he stopped in that last sector, and he will be definitely not competing in the next half an hour unless he somehow manages to fix the problems. But you'd imagine if he's just stopped out on track through, no sort of pre-warning, and especially in the last sector, that there's something severely gone wrong in that car, because otherwise he would have just trundled back into the pits.
Yeah. He's obviously, so he just wanted to watch our stream. I think that's what it is. It's
to be fair, I don't blame him. We are very much in the know with all the information that was going on for day 2 testing, and I'm very happy that 13,500 of you have decided to tune in for us this morning. It's great to have you. It was amazing to do it yesterday, and great to do it today as well. Obviously, we are in this red flag period, so we're not going to be getting any updates of times anytime soon. We wait to see if we are going to get the session back underway. Half an hour, just under to go, before they break for lunch for 1 hour. We will return for an afternoon stream as well. Do not worry. But right now, it's Carlos Sainz, fastest, with a 1 minute 20.546 on the C3 tyre. 61 laps completed, the most of any driver at the moment. Then it's Daniel Ricciardo, 1 minute 20.948, also on the C3 tyre. 55 laps completed. Then it's Gasly in the AlphaTauri, 21.132, 47 laps completed, and his fastest time was also on the C3 tyre. Same for Alex Albon, 21.657, 35 laps completed though. Not as many in that Williams as maybe they would have hoped. Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin, the 21.920 on the C2 tyre, 48 laps completed this session. Mick Schumacher, much better for Haas today, 21.949. On the C3 tyre, 53 laps completed. Sergio Perez, that's of course just caused that red flag. His best time is a 22.412 on the C2 tyre. 38 laps completed, and it's a big question mark as to whether or not that lap count will increase, depending on the problem that car has suffered. Then it's Lewis Hamilton, a 22.562, 40 laps completed on the C2 tyre. Then we have Valtteri Bottas, the sad story for Alfa Romeo, only 12 laps completed. His best time, a 22.858 on the C3 tyre. And finally, Esteban Ocon, 23.280, 55 laps completed on the C2 tyre. So there you go. That is the day 2 times, the laps completed, and what tyre they set it on. May well stay the same until we get to lunchtime.
Speaking of lunchtime, if you need something to fill the gap while we're obviously off stream for our lunch break, we've just published an article on WTF1.com about what is porpoising. So you can read more about it and learn a little more and explain.
Maybe my lunch break is going to consist of more talking as I make a script.
Yeah.
We will see. My voice is like, "Hey, Matt, you've said a lot of words over the last 2 days. What are you doing?"
But I saw the comments on our day 1 under video and put like, "You've done an 8-hour stream, and
now you're making a video." Yeah, it's long old days these next few days, but it's all good fun. It's Formula One. We love it, and we wouldn't have it any other way. And you guys clearly appreciate it. There was lots of lovely comments that we received yesterday. So it was really nice to see. So thank you.
For people saying, how big was the Checo crash? It's he's just stopped on track. But
Yeah, there's no crash.
Yeah. Red flags, I know, is a bit of a trigger in a race because it normally means something pretty bad's happened. But, in something like a test session, it just makes sense to just stop as soon as there's a problem for anyone, even if it just seems quite minor. It's not something that they wouldn't just put a safety car out for or whatever in a normal race, but because it's testing and they've not got all their usual stuff, they just throw a red flag and get back to it when we can. So he's just literally just stopped on track with an issue, but I'm sure we will find out and probably talk about it after the lunch break what that issue will be. I'm sure the guys will be rushing down to Red Bull.
We've got the race guys, our colleagues on the ground in Barcelona, and they are very much getting us as much information as they possibly can, and also keeping everything live in terms of the live timing, which is manually edited because Formula One haven't given anybody actual live timing. They've just literally in the media centre taking notes on what's happening. So big shout out to Jack, Glenn, Matt, and the rest of Josh, and the rest of the guys at the race who are providing us with as much information as possible. Katie wants a plug.
I've just flipped that one.
Did you put a link? Have you put the link? Let's put the link in the chat.
Let's put the link in the chat. Why not?
If the views go down by 3,000, Katie, you owe us a drink. Right. So go check out that link if you want to during this red flag period. Gives you a good insight into why the cars are bouncing up and down, side to side, like a roller coaster.
Sent you another Guess the Car.
Let's play Guess the Car. This episode of... yeah, wow. Here we go. Guess the car. Okay. Oh, God, I hate this game now. I really despise it. Who
knew that Sunset Images could
create such a great
brilliant
game? Let us know, guys, in the chat. What do you think that car is? You are posting that link so fast that I am misclicking it. All right, we'll slow it down. There you go.
Renault. It's Pikachu.
It's Pikachu. Red Bull, McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston, Haas, Red Bull, Mercedes. I think that is... Oh, God, I don't know. That's the problem. I know it's not Ferrari. I'll tell you that for free. Let's go with what is it not? It's not the Red Bull. It's not the AlphaTauri. I think it is. Can't be the Alfa Romeo. They've been out for 12 laps. I don't feel like that would be an image that they've... Although it's sunset, so maybe they've sunrise even.
Just want to...
Alfa Romeo.
I need to check myself now.
Alfa Romeo. I feel like it's
incorrect.
God damn it! I give up. Okay, maybe Aston Martin.
No, it's funny that the very first car you dismissed was the right answer.
Oh, what? Ferrari?
No.
Oh, wait, what did I say?
Red Bull.
Oh,
it's Sergio Perez.
Cool, good game. Hate this game. Absolutely despise it. It's not even like you can tell the car shape because it's so dark.
Yeah.
This is just roll the dice. So have we got any more?
Oh, we've got some update from on the ground about
Okay,
Sergio
yeah,
Perez.
on the ground. Oh, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of information here. Scott's hearing it might be a gearbox problem for Perez. He's parked on the approach to the final chicane. There you go. Gearbox problem for Perez.
Cadell Sky aren't covering it. They've just tweeted, session's been red flagged with Red Bull of Sergio Perez breaking on track. It's like, 10 minutes ago, guys.
Yeah. Hello, wake up. I literally just loaded Twitter and I thought the first thing they'd just tweeted, but it was 3 hours ago, where day 2 of testing is a go. And I just thought that was going to be, I thought it was like the latest tweet that they'd just done.
All right.
Okay. So, what do we... Yeah, so potentially gearbox problem for Perez. No crash, don't worry. No crash at all. Literally just pulled to a halt. Ricciardo, very shortly before that, set the second fastest time, half a second off Carlos Sainz, and slotted himself into P2. 55 laps for the Australian today so far. So Gary Anderson was actually trackside about 20 minutes ago. Give you some insight here. He said, first impression of the cars is they all look like they are doing what they are designed to do. Into turn 3, it's interesting to see that the side of the side pod can be as low as it is without picking up damage. When you have underfloor downforce, the sides are set at the height needed to make that work, so any damage would be very detrimental. But that's also why drivers will need to contain their enthusiasm and not run curbs or off track, as that's when damage will easily occur. So, God, imagine some of the tracks like Austria, where you used to have like those.
Yeah, Austria was going to be one.
Curbs and stuff like that.
We're not racing at Qatar anymore, but
I wonder if they're going to.
Austria.
I wonder if there's going to be maybe a slight change to tracks coming up.
Yes, there's going to be so much complaining about curbs this season, isn't there?
Because it sounds like it'll be a monumental amount of damage if they get hit by a sausage curb that's there to obviously stop track limits, but you can't really be having cars just DNF after one time of running wide. There has to be an element and a bit of a leniency when it comes to mistakes, but we'll see.
Well, at the same time, I think old school F1 fans that
don't go there.
No, that don't go off track. They're going to absolutely love it because you go on the curbs. Because obviously, back way back when we did a video on F1 curbs and why they're there, they've become like almost flat. But if you watch a highlights video from like the 80s or whatever, they're like enormous. They're like essentially like a pavement or a sidewalk, if that's what we say pavement in the UK. But yeah, the like a really high raised curb, like really high up, and you don't drive over it because it's really high. So maybe it might. I don't doubt it'd be this extreme, but maybe it's going to go more to the point where the drivers have to stick within the actual track rather than trying to push it so much. Because obviously, if you're going over a curb, when they say when they tell the drivers you need to leave one wheel on the track or whatever, they will do that. Like every lap of every thing, they'll push the limits. So,
yeah, interesting. Lots
sausage
of talking
curbs would
points
be an
for sure.
absolute nightmare.
Oh yeah, massively. There's not going to be any Verstoppers, I can tell you that probably. America, wasn't there? That is a throwback. If you know that one, fair play to you. So we've got 18 minutes until lunchtime, and no further updates apart from Perez is back in the pits, but without his car.
Is it likely they're going to get back out again, or will they just go to a lunch break?
They might go to an early lunch break potentially. 18 minutes to go until the end of the session. Perez is back in the pits, but the car is not. I'm not sure where the car is, and that was a couple of minutes ago. So we wait and see if they will restart the session. I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. I'd imagine they'd have to if there's this amount of time left. But we'll see. We will see. Maybe it's just a case of asking the teams what they want to do.
Seems quite chilled. Like after yesterday, the talk of obviously, who's... oh, hang on. Sorry, just seeing a picture of... Oh, we don't have it, hopefully. XPB put... I've seen loads of photographers down, by the truck. So it'd be interesting that if there's any of the XPB guys there, will be refreshing to see that. But all this is the dream for the photographers. Oh, Glenn's just come through with one. Brilliant. The Red Bull on the back of the truck. And I'm sure all the cameramen are going to be swarming that, trying to get pictures, and probably all the other teams as well.
Yeah,
well, it is very well covered up.
It is. This is the prime opportunity, isn't it? This is where photographers are frothing to get the pictures that the close-up pictures, especially of a vulnerable Red Bull that's just broken down. I guess the thing is obviously Perez hasn't crashed, so there isn't the expose of the engine, etc. But still a good opportunity if it's hoisted up onto a recovery truck or something to have a look at the floor, especially, and things like that. This is where you can get some good insight. Hello,
looking
Tomo.
looking at this picture.
Yeah,
I'll send it over. But I'm sure Red Bull will be very happy that they've covered the car nicely. I wonder if Red Bull were down there going, you make sure you wrap that car completely so no one can see anything.
Entirely. So apparently, usually with testing, red flags will they will restart even if it's only a tiny amount of time remaining. It makes sense, I suppose. It is a testing session, and they want to get as many miles as they possibly can out of it. The majority of the delay in bringing that car back would have been Red Bull, as you say, waiting to get fully covered before allowing it to be brought back to the pits. They are always very particular about that at testing, which I think is fair enough. They want to hide every little bit, and there's the image which we'll share with you right now of the Red Bull covered up, can't see nothing. And imagine if it was like really shoddily done and it just got blown over by the wind or something, just like, oh no.
Yeah.
So there is the Red Bull. We will wait to hear, I suppose. It's good in some ways that they've got an hour to diagnose without losing any track running. And maybe it's just a simple swap out. Maybe it's something a little bit more deep and will take a little bit longer. We will let you know as soon as we hear from the guys at the race.
We've got some new images in XBB. I'm just going to send you of Max Verstappen. Looks like he's doing some media chat. He's obviously at the track today, but not driving, of course. But it looks like they've captured the exact moment where he's discovered that Perez has broken down on track, because he looks less than amused.
Let's have a look. Here we go. Where's this image from? Is this from just now?
This is XBB. They've literally just uploaded this, so I wonder if they're interviewing him.
What's Max thinking right now? Oh, I've accidentally... Oops, daisy. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I moved the times. I moved the wrong window. What's Max thinking right now, chat? What's his overriding thoughts of seeing Perez stopped on the racetrack? Of course, he's not scheduled to do any race running today. Tomorrow is when he'll be back in the car. What happened? Perez has broken down. No crash. Potentially a gearbox failure. We're not entirely sure. Red Bull will be asked lots of questions, I imagine, over the lunch period. Did I leave the stove on? I'm sure. Lots of different... Glad that wasn't me, says Jordan.
Yeah, that better not happen to my car.
Here we go again. Lots of stuff going on. Did I leave the heating on? Yeah, a lot of those. Did I leave X on? Good stuff. We are 13 minutes away from lunch. Just so you know, guys, we will be doing an afternoon stream once again at 1 p.m. So feel free to come and join us then. We aren't going to go off air until we know that testing either... Well, if testing's obviously stopped for lunch, then we will close down the stream. But I think... Oh, no, green flag. There you go. As if I was saying that. We've got 30 minutes left. And Hamilton, Bottas... Wait, what? And Perez... Wait, what? There's 13 minutes left, and everyone but Hamilton, Bottas, and Perez, of course, has headed out. So we've got 7 cars on track at the moment, so don't go anywhere. We have got maybe some updates to bring you in the next 12 minutes as cars are back out on track. So that's good stuff. Green flag at the end of the pit lane. And I think we should use a different picture now than Max looking very odd. Very concerned. We'll just show the car on the back of the truck for now. Tommy, have you seen it? Have you seen anything, my friend? Is there anything that you'd like to talk about?
I'm having a look
to go.
at. We've got an XPB image of the car on the truck now.
Okay, yeah, fire that over, and also reflect on the morning for me, Tommy.
So,
shut up, Siri. Carry on.
I thought you were like, I was like, you found testing coverage, right? I guess one of the main talking points for me, I think, is still that yeah, it's just Alfa Romeo is a big concern. It's not a great look. Pretty embarrassing, really, for them. The other teams are doing quite a decent amount of laps, and they really sticking out like a sore thumb. Obviously, you went into it in 2014 when the new regs changed. There were so many teams that were struggling and not getting up to grips yet. But this, so he kind of covered everyone's back, because it's like, oh, we're all struggling for the new regs. But the fact that everyone else seems to be doing fairly well.
Daniel Ricciardo's just gone fastest. 1 minute 20.355.
McLaren again.
Gasly is now third, but improved to a 1 minute is 20.764, while Albon has put in the fourth fastest time of a 21.531. So these timings will update very soon, I promise you that. Of course, it is manually inputted by the race guys. There is no specific live timing, so give us a moment. But yes, Daniel Ricciardo has gone to the top of the timesheets. McLaren hype train is fully arriving at the station. Lando, of course, fastest yesterday, and Danny Rick doing a decent lap time, 20.355.
Wow. Lots
of flying laps coming in right at the end of this morning session.
Imagine if McLaren are on it after all the talk of will it be Ferrari, will it be Red Bull, will it be Mercedes, and then McLaren's come out of nowhere and are amazing.
And there is that image of the Red Bull on the recovery truck and the amount of mechanics around there to make sure nothing comes off of that cover. So yeah, Daniel Ricciardo. Good stuff from Danny. And now it's updated for you. It should have at least the live timings. 61 laps has Ricciardo done. 64 laps for Sainz. They're the only two in the 60s at the moment. Closest after that is Ocon with 55. Schumacher and Gasly on 53. And they're all the ones that have got above half a century. Still no sign of Alfa Romeo.
Yes. So I have confirmation before I said it on stream that Gunther Steiner has cancelled his press conference with Haas, and you can probably work out why he wants to avoid questions.
Why do you think? Why do you think he'll?
A certain political situation going on at the moment, and their sponsor. So yes, he has cancelled that because I imagine there will be a lot of questions about that. So yeah, be interesting to see if Mazepin's scheduled one for this afternoon will also mysteriously be cancelled. We shall find out.
That's 100% guaranteed, I imagine. It's something they want to avoid, I imagine. We've got 8 minutes to go in this session. Aisha has just joined the live. What happened with Red Bull? Perez had a suspected gearbox problem, and he did not crash. Do not worry. Perez did not crash. He stopped in the last sector, and he the car is back in the pit lane via a recovery truck. There is no crash. So wherever people are saying Perez crashed, he did not. People are questioning Schumacher being in sixth. Yes, he's done 21.949. 58 laps completed. Much better morning session for Haas. He's done collectively, in this morning session alone, he's done more laps than what Haas did collectively over the course of yesterday, where they had a cooling issue, I believe, and then a coolant leak or something, and then also a bit of floor damage in the afternoon, which cost them a lot of time.
Hamilton done then. Mercedes not going back out on track, according to Glenn. They've declared their morning session is done.
Oh, and so 40 laps for Hamilton, down in eighth, a 22.562 on the C2. Yeah, 40 laps, which means he's done 90 laps over 2 days, has Hamilton.
Decent enough. Not the best.
Not massive, is it?
Not massive, but not Alfa Romeo.
No, it's not panic stations, that's for sure. Are we going to be able to send in super chats? I don't think super chats is actually sorted in this on this YouTube channel. Apologies for that. What do you think with Alpine, Matt? What do I think of Alpine? I mean, they're last, but it doesn't really matter. They are still within the realms of 3 seconds off what Ricciardo's doing isn't 6, and clearly they're just in a run plan where they're trying to get as much laps on the board. 59 laps for Ocon is a good amount of mileage, so I don't have any sort of real concerns about Alpine at this stage. The main one is Alfa Romeo, with 14 laps, which means Bottas has gone out then, I'd imagine, if it's 14 laps, because it was 12. Unless it's just updated because there's been a couple of laps that were missing. I felt like Bottas
I think you should send your... Who's out on track?
Yeah. Who's out on track? Is Bottas out? Is Bottas out? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it said 12 for a long, long time. But I will double check that, see what people say in the race chat. They are out in Barcelona. Yeah, good stuff. So 13,500 of you still sat here enjoying this morning testing live update stream. Just so you know, 5 minutes till lunch, and then there'll be an hour break, and then we will return for the afternoon session as well. So look forward to that. It'll be myself and Katie. Tommy's having the afternoon off. What an absolute disgrace. He is the founder after all, so he's going to probably get some sort of like massage or red carpet out.
Yeah.
Fair play. And then tomorrow morning it will be Katie and Tommy doing the first part of day 3, and then I will be coming back for the afternoon. And interestingly, that will be the wet session. It may be a wet session completely tomorrow because it's forecast to rain, but if not, the afternoon of tomorrow is scheduled, as far as we know, to be a wet session. So they will actually wet the track so the drivers can test out the wet tyres.
Big old yawn from Frank. He's ready for lunch.
Big old yawn from Frank. Poor bloke. He really is suffering, isn't he, old Frank? I reckon he yawns about 1,000 times. Let's get Frank. Pick him up. Come on. Let's.
Can you not see him?
No, can't see him, mate. Oh. Your face is pretty much in the shot, and that's about it.
There we go.
Here we go. Say hello to Frank, chat. There he is. What a good boy, but also what an absolute melt. He is. He is the most needy dog.
I'll share a picture on Twitter of like what I've got with like 2 dogs down here, and earlier Frank was just like lying, just looking at me like, you will tickle my tummy, and I'm like, Frank, I'm trying to stream here.
Can we see a slideshow? Yeah, you want to see some images from today? I will fire up.
Go back through them all, maybe.
I'll go through a few.
I've got many new ones.
I've actually got quite a few images that you sent me today. So that was George trackside, potentially describing what the porpoising and what was going on there. That's a beautiful Ferrari, as always. Lovely stuff. We've got AlphaTauri. That looks like that's a very cool image. I do like that one a lot. Of them testing out with their aero rake, getting a lot of information about the airflow and how the car's performing. There's a Checo looking like he's concerned or yawning or something.
That was before the his incident as well.
It was, yeah. There's the Mercedes. That is a good-looking car, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Got a lot of good-looking cars this year.
That's a Red Bull. No, it's not a Red Bull. This is what Tommy photoshopped, actually. This is one of our... This is the thing he called a Red Bull. That's Checo again. I apologise. That's the same thing. We also looked at the different halos and the way in which they've all added their own little aerodynamic pieces to it. Their fins. And there's an Aston Martin. There's the Alpine. There's one called Astoon. There you go. That was from yesterday. That was a lovely, gorgeous pic from yesterday. There's a Williams. So yeah, there's a few for you, everybody. Got to keep an eye on the last couple of minutes.
Just for some last-minute entertainment, if I can move the camera. Oh, I can't move the camera now.
So very quickly, Bottas is out on track as suspected, and he is now up to 17 laps and has set his fastest time, which is a 1 minute 22.288. So thankfully for Alfa Romeo, they've managed to get a few laps in before lunch, and hopefully signs of better things to come.
Yeah, we don't want to see him struggling. We don't want to see anyone struggling.
No, we don't.
We want that 10-way championship fight.
I've got a really bit of information for you, Tommy.
Okay.
Carlos Sainz is on 69 laps. Nice
in chat.
Nice. What a way to end our lunch stream. So that is pretty much it for the first session of today, this morning's testing. The mileage leader is Carlos Sainz, 69 laps. The mileage loser is Valtteri Bottas on 17. Bottas's media session has also been called off. And he will not be speaking to the media. So that is it, everybody, for the morning session. Be sure to return in 1 hour's time for the afternoon session with myself and Katie. We will be giving you all the information just as we have done over yesterday and this morning. Hopefully we'll get quite a bit more running, because I feel like for some teams it was a bit disappointing and maybe not as much as they were hoping, considering Verstappen set a benchmark of 147 laps yesterday on his own over the course of 2 days. Tommy, final thoughts of this morning's session?
I'm just enjoying the nice chat, to be honest. Everyone just
loads of nice spamming. Love that. That's fine. That's your final thought. That is my
final thought. My final thought is I am looking forward to lunch.
Yeah, me too. Please leave a like on this stream if you've enjoyed it. We were hitting 10k yesterday. I think that might be a stretch. Maybe you guys aren't enjoying it as much today. But please do leave a like if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe as well if you are new. And as I say, put the bell notification button on as well, because we'll be going live in about an hour, just under an hour, where we'll be fresh-faced and ready to go again for this afternoon's day 2 of pre-season, non-pre-season testing, non-official, official launch shakedown thing. Tommy, thank you for your time as always. It's been a pleasure. People will see you tomorrow morning. And
nice and early.
And that's all good stuff. We will be answering a lot of your questions as well later on. And we will see you then. So please leave a like on your way out. And we'll see you in just under 1 hour's time. Bye!
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I always wave with the hand that I have to